White flag out on Heat 1 for our Dow Auto mini stocks here tonight. We've got Braden Cuse and Mark Bazine on the front row. Lafonacy and Cerenzia in behind them in row number 2. 2 heat races tonight for the Dow Auto mini stocks, 7 cars apiece. To equal 14 cars for tonight's $517 to win Pete Costco Memorial, presented by Costco Haulage. Super slow pace into 3 and 4 with Cuse and Bazine on the front row. They can go anywhere between the 2 cones and 4. RPMs come up, green flags out, and we are racing for the first here tonight in the Costco Memorial with our Dow Auto mini stocks. As Bazine and Cuse race into turn number 1 and 2, Cuse pushes up the track in front of Bazine. That opens up the door for the 96. That's last week's winner, Tyler Lafonacy, in the 96. Bazine's going to switch lanes, going to try to follow him through under Cuse. Now Bazine into that second spot in the 21. Cuse, your pole sitter's falling back to third as we complete opening lap. Lafonacy, Bazine, and Cuse, your top 5 with Buscom and Lubeck rounding out the top 5 at the moment. Kokrick in the 3K gets all kind of squirrely in the middle of turn number 1 and 2, gathers it up, keeps on going. We're going to be able to stay green here as they fade to the back of the field. And here comes Lafonacy in that 96 to click off another lap. Bazine in that Burger Barn 21X car doing everything he can to keep his nose on the back bumper of that 96 as Buscom now in the 44 has moved into third around the 7 of Cuse. Buscom always quick in that 44. He's moved up from backside of the field, 6th starting spot. Now he's into third as we're halfway down. 3 laps in, 3 to go in Heat 1 here tonight for the Dow Auto mini stocks. Braden Cuse fighting off Lubeck for that 4th spot. That's one closest 2 cars on the speedway right now as there's 2 laps to go for the 96 of Lafonacy. Super fast in the mini stock division anywhere he races in the Niagara area. Last week's winner here at Humberstone. He was super happy in victory lane. He's going to try to get tonight's $517 purse for that mini stock Dow Auto division. White flag out for the 96 of Lafonacy. Bazine falling back a little bit in that Burger Barn 21. And Buscom still rounds out the top 3. Checker flag out. Tyler Lafonacy picks up the win over Mark Bazine in the 21. 44 Buscom third. 7G Cuse fourth. Lubeck in the 14 is fifth. And here comes the battle for the 6th spot. It's going to be the 3K of Kokrick over the 71 of Cerenzia. So congrats to the 96 of Lafonacy on that heat win. Top 3 going to report to the scales for mandatory weighing, and heat 2 for our Dow Auto mini stocks going to roll off on the back straightaway. And here is Steve with the lineup.
Starting in the front row in the number 16, Fabio Oliveri from Lancaster. Outside front row in the number 91 from Hamilton will be Oliver Larocque. Starting inside second row, Sam Iftati in the 38S from Welland. 4th position outside second row. In the 71W from Niagara-on-the-Lake will be Austin Worstrow. Starting in the 5th position, inside row number 3 from Smithville. In the 6X, Mike Sarantokos. In the last row, starting in 6th position, Kyle Rothwell from Welland in the 114. And in 7th position from Fonthill in the 5K will be Kevin Hare.
Olivieri and Larocque going to lead him to green out of turn number 4. Super slow pace once again. Green flag is out, and we are racing with heat number 2 for the Dow Auto mini stock. Kenny Hare in that 5K makes a good run from the back of the field. He's already up into 4th, now pressuring the 71 of Worstrow to his inside. Down the back straightaway, Hare and Worstrow battle for that 3rd spot. Into turn number 2. Worstrow on the high side, Hare on the bottom. Here they go to complete lap number 1. It's going to be Fabio Olivieri. And then Larocque and Hare, your top 3 as they complete the 1st lap. Worstrow gets high that time in turn number 1 and 2, opens up the door for the 114 of Rothwell to his inside, but Worstrow powers down the back straightaway. Now Larocque gets high in turn number 3 and 4, and that 91 opens up the door for the 5K of Hare. Hare now into second. in the 5K as Rothwell has been moving up from the back as well. In that 114, he's looking to move into third under the 91 of Olivier Leroc. Halfway down, three to go in heat number 2 for the Dow Auto Mini Stocks here tonight at the Pete Costco Memorial, presented by Costco Haulage. Olivieri in that 16 car doing a great job out front. He's got about half straightaway lead over the 5K of Kenny Hare, and then the 114 of Rothwell, who's moving to the top side now, trying to get around the 5K of Hare. There's 2 laps to go now in this heat race for the 16 of Olivieri and the 5K of Hare, and Rothwell now into third in that 114 TMR car. White flag out now for the 16 of Olivieri. 2 more corners, and he's going to pick up the second heat win in our Dow Auto Mini Stocks here tonight at Humberstone. Into 3 and 4, final time. Checker flag in the air. It's going to be Fabio Olivieri picking up the heat win for our Dow Auto Mini Stocks, followed by Kenny Hare in the 5K, Rothwell in the 114, Austin Worsrow in the 71, Olivier Leroc in the 91 6X of Sarantakos, and the 34 of Almer rounds out the field. Rolling on to the Speedway now. Heat number 1 of our GR Environmental Street Stock Division. They're racing for $817 here tonight for the Peace Costco Memorial. Here's the lineup from Steve.
All right, front row, number 37. From Harley, Ontario, Robert Hoskins. Outside row number 1 will be Dave Bailey from Hagersville, the number 49. Starting in third position will be Kevin Knapp from Allenberg in the 33J. Starting in fourth in the number 11 from Thorold will be Go Fast Teeple. Fifth position inside the third row will be Jeff Larmett from St. Catharines in the 601. Starting in the fourth row on the inside, sixth position will be Mike Thorne from Caledonia in the 55. And starting in the seventh position outside the fourth row in the 108 JR from Port Robinson will be Zach Bleach.
Hoskins and Dave Bailey going to lead him to green flag on our first heat of the night for the GR Environmental Street Stocks. Green flag in the air, and we are racing into turn number 1 and 2. Bailey gets a good start in that 49 on the top side, always fast here in the Niagara area. Bailey on the top side, Kevin Knapp in the 33J looking to the inside of the 37 of Hoskins down the back straightaway, thinking of going 3 wide into turn number 3, thought better of it. Bailey on the top side, Hoskins on the bottom. Hoskins going to lead lap 1 over Bailey, Knapp, Thorne, Teeple, Larmett, and Bleach. Still 3 wide and at the front for the battle for the front, with Hoskins and Knapp still getting together a little bit off turn number 2 that time. Bailey committed to the top side as Knapp and Hoskins are battling for the rail, as now Bailey's going to squeak out and lead lap 2 in that 49 car. Bailey now your leader, starting to pull away from the 37 of Hoskins, 33J of Knapp holding on to that third spot for now, but here comes Mikey Thorne in that 55 Burger Barn ride looking to the inside, and Knapp, we got a battle for the third spot now under the start-finish line. Thorne on the bottom, Knapp on the top into turn number 1 and 2. Best battle on the Speedway right now. They got Hoskins right in front of them. Now Thorne in the 55 is going to pull away from Knapp, and as he does that as well, going to stick a nose to the inside of Hoskins, and 3 gets into Hoskins just a little bit, as we see halfway down 4 to go in heat number 1 for the GR Environmental Street Stock Division here tonight. Mikey Thorne still looking to the inside of Hoskins, trying to squeak his nose in there, but just can't quite get to the inside of Hoskins entering turn 3. Hoskins gets the better run out of 4 again and holds on to that second spot, as Bailey in the 49 has been pulling away out front of this one. Now 55 gets a little high, opens up the door once again for the 33J of Kevin Knapp. Bailey pulling away from this one, but the rest of the field single file nose to tail. 2nd through 7th in this one, as there's 2 to go this time by. 2 to go in heat number 1 for the GR Environmental Street Stocks tonight for our Peace Costco Memorial, going for $817 to win. White flag out this time by for the 49 of Bailey. As once again, Thorne trying to get to the inside of Hoskins out of turn 4. He's got a good run on him this time. He's square door to door even at the white flag. Thorne on the bottom, Hoskins on the top. Thorne gets the power down. He's going to be your second place car down the back straightaway. But out of 4, here we go. Checker flag in the air for the 49 of Bailey. Another heat win for him. Congrats to Bailey on the heat win. Then it's going to be second, Thorne, third, Hoskins, fourth, Knapp, and then Larmett, Tipo, and Bleach rounds out the field for Heat 1 of the GNR Environmental Street Stocks. Congrats to Dave Bailey on the heat win. He'll be rolling the scales along with the top 3. Rolling on top, turn number 2 right now is heat number 2 for tonight's GR Environmental Street Stock Division at the Pete Costco Memorial presented by Costco Haulage. And here is the lineup from Steve.
All right, heat number 2, 8 laps. Inside front row in the 01 JR will be Barry Beck Jr. Outside row number 1, Jim Latman from Caister Center in the 28. Inside row number 2 in the 79 from Guelph will be Christopher Hale. Second row, outside. 4th position from Shannonville, Ontario in the 26 will be Craig Hanley. Starting in the 5th position, inside row number 3 from Grimsby in the 17 will be Robert Disher. Starting in 6th, outside, 3rd row from Port Colborne in the 11R will be Bryce Richardson. And last position, inside row number 4 from Welland and the 05 will be Pete Reed.
Lots of hitters in this heat number 2 for the Street Stocks. Craig Hanley, he won the big 3,000 to win show here at Humberstone back at the All-Canadian race on August 8th with a green flag in heat number 2 for our GR Environmental Street Stocks. Lampman throws her in a little too hard in turn number 1 and 2. He gets a little squirrely on the high side. That opens up the door for the 79 of Hale as they race side by side into turn number 3 and 4 for that second spot. Hale on the bottom, Lampman on the top. Lampman gives away as now Hale looks to the inside of that 01 junior of Beck. Lampman not giving up on the top side, though, as he gets a better run through 1 and 2 that time, as he's got that feature winner from earlier in the year, as I said, Craig Hanley in the 26, moving up in that 26 Peacemaker ride. Barry Beck Jr. clicks off another lap. He's got Chris Hale moving in on him, and then Hanley's move up into the 3rd spot. Pete Reed, he started last. He is now up to 4th in that 05. He had a good run last week. I believe it was 3rd for the 05 Pete Reed. I believe he was happy with that run. Beck still doing a good job if he leads lap 3 here in this heat number 2 for our GR Environmental Street Stocks here tonight at Humberstone's Pete Costco Memorial. Halfway down, 4 to go for heat number 2 of our Street Stocks here tonight. Hale now all over the back bumper of the 01 of Beck. He's going to look to the inside. Beck's going to try to play defensive driving down the back straightaway. It's not going to work. Hale hard on the brakes. He's definitely got his nose in there this time. He's to the door handle of the 01 of Beck, and he's going to be dead heat at the line. I wouldn't wanted to call that one. I think it was still the 01 of Beck by a hair. As Hale not going away on the bottom. Now he is going to charge ahead off turn number 2. Looks like the bottom side off turn 2 is better, but the top side's better off 4. So 2 racing lines here at Humberstone Speedway, just like always, as there's 2 laps to go here now in the heat number 2 for the Street Stock. Beck, Hanley, and Reed there play a little bit of bumper tag. No harm, no foul, though. Just a little harmless bumper tag. And here's white flag out now for the 79 of Chris Hale, who had a good run last night as well. Hale's been fast this year, as he's got 4 more corners to go to pick up the win in heat number 2. Reed's going to try one last ditch effort on the high side to get around the 26 of Hanley. Doesn't look like it's going to work in the moment. He's going to try it one more time in 3 and 4. Here we go. Checker flag in the air out of turn number 4. Now it's going to be Chris Hale picking up the win, followed by Barry Beck, Craig Hanley. Pete Reed tried to squeak in there, but he got 4th at the line, followed by Jim Lamb, Rob Disher, and Bryce Richardson rounds out the field. So congrats to Chris Hale in that 79 car, picking up heat number 2 tonight in our Costco Memorial, Pete Costco Memorial, presented by Costco Haulage. Heat number 2 winner in the GR Environmental Street Stocks. And rolling onto the track now will be heat number 3, and here's the lineup for Steve.
In the front row, in the number 25 will be Ken Sargent. Outside row number 1 from Victoria. In the 84 RK will be Ryan Beagle inside the second row. In the 96 will be Brandon Swinson. Starting in 4th, Jason Fontaine from Port Colborne in the 1J. Inside, row number 3, in the 30 RJ from Stony Creek will be Kevin Sharp. Outside, row number 3 will be Jeff Bean from Dunville in the 37J. Rounding out the field, starting in the 4th row will be Justin Ramsey from Belleville, Ontario in the 03.
Green flag's out, and we're racing down the back straightaway. Fontaine in that 1J. He's looking up to get to the inside of the 25 of Sargent, but now we've got one backwards. And all right, we're back. We've got a good battle now for the lead with Ramsey, Beagle, Sargent, and Fontaine at the front of this one. Fontaine in that 1J, he's doing a good job out front. We're halfway down now for the heat number 3 of our GR Environmental Street Stocks here tonight at the Peace Costco Memorial. Fontaine leading that 1J down the back straightaway. Beagle fast in that 84, now looking to the inside. Super battle here for the lead. Top 4 all together. You can throw a blanket over as they kick off another lap with 1J. Fontaine in the lead. Ramsey and Sargent getting into it a little bit now in turn number 1 and 2. Fontaine starting to stretch himself over down the back straightaway now with Beagle still chasing him down. Ramsey and Sargent side by side for that 3rd spot as we're 2 to go now at the line. That was a great battle for that lead spot, but now we're starting to get into single file action just a little bit as Ramsey's moved into 3rd. Now he's going to switch to the high side, try to get around the get around the 84 of Beagle in that 03 car as the white flag flies for the 1J of Fontaine out front in this one, doing a great job. Last week's feature winner here at Humberstone. Out of 3 and 4, checker flag in the air. It's going to be Jason Fontaine picking up the win in the final heat for the street stocks, followed by Ryan Beagle in the 84, Justin Ramsey in the 03, Ken Sargent in the 25. Kevin Sharp and Brandon Swinson rounds out the field. So congrats to Fontaine picking up the win in that super exciting heat number 3 for the GR Environmental Street Stocks. Up next will be they'll be back later on for their $817 to win feature here. And rolling onto the speedway now will be heat number 1 for our Northeast Late Model Alliance. Good to see a lot of late models here tonight at Humberstone. They'll be battling for $1,517 later on in their feature at the Pete Costco Memorial here tonight. Many remember Pete Costco also owned a late model, had himself and I believe Rob Lemehan and a couple other drivers in the car as well. So Pete loved late models just as much as he loved modifieds and Humberstone, so I'm sure he's glad to see a good field of cars here tonight for his race. And here's going to be the lineup. On the pole out of Blenheim, Ontario in the 00, that's Jim Dale to his outside. Out of Wallaceburg in the 05, Mike Lewis. Inside row 2, Rob Lettingham in the 19 junior to his outside, Brent Graham in the 14. Starting 5th, 69 Easy out of Port Colborne, Rob Pitts to his outside, John Pinsino in the 0, and rounding out the field in the 12S out of Trend, that's Kyle Sovaz, and last week's winner, Sam Pinocchio in the 311. Green flag is out, and we are racing into turn number 1 in heat 1 of our Luke's Auto Machine Pro Fabrication Late Model Business. Tonight joined by the Northeast Late Model Alliance. We're racing 3 wide down the back straightaway as Rob Pitts got a good run to the inside of Rob Lettingham in that number 19 car. As we've got cars side by side, is now the 05 around on the front straightaway. That could have been way worse. Good job by Mike Lewis to do the 360, and good job by the rest of the field to miss him, as we've got Pitts now by Jim Dale in that 00 at the front of the field. Pitts now your leader in that 69 after that service on the front straightaway. Good job to all drivers. Keep it rolling though. Rob Pitts clicks off another lap. Jim Dale now 00 trying to hold on to second. Kyle Sopas super fast in these late models, and that 12 car, he has lots of big wins to his resume. In that 12, he started at the back of the field. He's already up to third, trying to get around the 00 of Jim Dale. Halfway down now for the 69 of Rob Pitts, one of our local competitors, checking out on this heat number 1 for the Northeast Late Model Alliance here at Humberstone tonight. Jim Dale slides up, almost gets into the side of the 12 of Sopas. But he's able to keep it together down the back straightaway. Sopas now into second. Good job for him to come up from 7th into second spot in that 12 car. As Pitts picks off another lap, he is about a straightaway ahead of the field. Right now getting good fight in that 69 car as Dale slips up in turn number 1. That allows the 14 of Frank Graham to get to his inside. 2 to go now for the 69 of Rob Pitts. Now we got one super loose in turn number 1 and 2 all the way around. Goes the 0 of John Pinsino. John Pinsino from Chatham, Ontario, around in turn number 1 and 2. And the caution flag is going to have to wait. Back under Greenway now. Sopas in that 12 got a good restart around the 69 of Pitts. But now Sopas charging the outside as we see white flag now for the 69 of Pitts. Great battle for that lead between the 2 fastest cars in this heat race. As the caution put the 12 of Sopas back on the back bumper of the 69 of Pitts. And here we go, checker flag in the air. Good job to the 69 of Rob Pitts. Going to pick up the heat win over Sopas, Lettingham, Panaccio, Graham, Pinsino, Lewis, and Jim Dale going to round out the field for heat number 1 of our Northeast Late Model Alliance here at Humberstone. So congrats to Rob Pitts, local runner here in the Luke's Racing Engine Pro Fabrication Late Model Division. So good job to him for picking up heat win. Now rolling on to the Speedway now is heat number 2 tonight for our Northeast Late Model Division race at Humberstone. Here's how they're going to line up. On the pole out of Picton in the 01, that's Eli Mayhew to his outside. 89 out of Port Hope, that's Austin King. Inside, row 2, third spot out of Ridgeway, that's the 82 of Mike Green to his outside. Super fast in the late models. Last night's winner at Brighton, 57, Charlie Sandercock out of Belleville. Inside, row 3, 5th spot out of Picton in the 87. That's Andrew Hennessy to his outside out of Cherry Valley, Ontario in the 92. That's Adam Turner. Inside, row 4, 7th spot, local here from Humberstone out of Ridgeway in the 15. That's Tim Gillipsy. And rounding out the field in the 49 out of Blenheim, that's Brett Hope. Nice tight square and even in turn number 3 and 4. Green flag is out and we're racing with heat number 2 of our Northeast Late Model Alliance feed qualifying here at Humberstone tonight. Green in that 82 gets a little bit loose. That opens up the door for the 87 of Hennessy. He's going to charge into the 5th spot now down the back straightaway. Looks to the inside of the 92 of Turner. Through 3 and 4. Here we go to lead lap number 1. It's going to be the 01 of Eli Mayhew leading the first lap over the 89 of Austin Kings. Couple of Brighton runners out front right now. Whole bunch of Brighton runners out front. The top 5 is Brighton runners. King now looking to the inside of the 0-1 of Mayhew into 3 and 4. Sander Cox going up to the extreme high side of the speedway in that 57. Sander Cox in that rocket chassis is definitely pushing that high side, doing a good job to get around the 89 car. Now, Sander Cox, one of the veterans in this division, lots of feature wins here and in the States, I believe, in that 57 car, so he's no stranger to getting to the front, and that's where he is now as he's moved into the second spot, and he's going to try to chase down the 0-1 of Mayhew. Mayhew doing a good job. The car looks nice and square, plugging that bottom, keeping the traction under him. Now he misses the entry a little bit, and that's going to allow Sander Cox to maybe mount a charge around the top side as Mayhew clicks off another lap, halfway down, 4 to go here in the second and final heat race tonight for the Northeast Late Model Alliance. Sander Cox made a pretty big mistake that time in turn number 1 and 2, lost some ground to the 0-1 of Mayhew. Another lap clicked off for that 0-1 car. Sander Cox still trying everything he can, but that time Mayhew slides up a little bit and impedes his progress. Sander Cox going to try to mount a charge down the back straightaway and into turn 3 and 4. Definitely a pretty good cushion up on the top of 3 and 4. Sander Cox going to put that to his advantage and take the lead at the 2 to go sign. This time by on lap 6, Sander Cox leads with a charge around the top of the cushion in 3 and 4. He takes the lead away from that 0-1 of Mayhew. White flag out this time by for the 57 of Charlie Sander Cox, his teammate in the 87, Andrew Hennessy, trying to mount a charge on the 89 of King for that second spot. Single file for now down the back straightaway for the final time into 3 and 4. Sander Cox high, wide, and handsome on that high side. He takes the checker flag heat win, followed by 01 Mayhew, 89 King, 87 Hennessy, 92 Turner, 15 Gillespie, and the 49 of Boat rounds out the field with the 82 of Mike Green.
In the front row, in the number 62 from Port Colborne to be John Babian. Outside, first row, Brandon Gruel in the 35 from St. Catharines. Inside, row number 2 will be Ryan Ferry in the 1F. Outside, row number 2 in the 12P from Port Colborne will be Emily Pachelski. Starting in 5th position, inside, row number 3 from Port Colborne in the 99P, Greg Punante. Starting in the 6th position, Cody McPherson from St. Catharines in the number 7. Inside, 4th row will be Luke Carlton from Port Colborne. Row number 4, Matt Sharp, Port Colborne in the last position, starting 9th in the 28 from Welland to be Matt Dumont.
Green flag out on the speedway. We've got cars all over the speedway now into turn 3 and 4. Pajelski pushing it on that high side. She's trying to get a run around the 67 of Babian in that 62 car. Good job by the 62 of Pajelski. Now Gruel in that 35 gets a little loose out front of this one. McPherson in that lucky 7 car charging the high side. He's trying to move through the field in that lucky 7. Now McPherson looks to go to 3 wide, way up on the cushion now. In that 7 car, he gathers it back in and he battles with Panunte for that 5th spot, trying to get around the 62 of Babian as Panunte and Babian get into it pretty hard in turn number 1 and 2. Babian comes down, gets into Carlton, who had nowhere to go. Dumont gets collected as well. And we're going to have to go to yellow. Tough break there for Luke Carlton. Been super fast around the Niagara region in the Sportsman division in that 96 car recently. Right now he's got a dented in door, and he had nowhere to go on that one. Definitely wasn't his fault at all. And we're going to go green out of turn 3 and 4 with Gruel and Pajelski on the front row. RPMs come up, and we're racing once again into turn number 1 on heat 1 of our Sterling Lubricant Division Sportsman tonight. Gruel leads again out of turn number 2 on the bottom side in that 35G. Pajelski running the high side in that Canadian Tire 12 car. Pajelski saw the heat before. She knows it's fast up there. Going to try to get a run around the 35 of Gruel. Definitely fast in 3 and 4 on that top side. Gives away just a little bit off the top of turn number 2 as we're almost 3 wide down the back straightaway for that 3rd spot. Now is McPherson on the high side trying to poke in front of Ferry in that 1F car. McPherson noses out in front now for that 3rd spot. Pajelski still not giving up on that high side. Is now Gruel gets into the slick stuff and gets super sideways now in the middle of 1 and 2. That opens up the door for Pajelski as she's side by side with Brandon Gruel into turn number 3 and 4 for that top spot this time. Let's see who's going to lead that line. It's going to be Pajelski by a bumper. So Pajelski on that high side in 3 and 4 has definitely got momentum. Gruel hits the slick spot again, and now Pajelski is going to pull out in front in this first heat race for our sportsman here tonight. Gruel not going away on the bottom. He seems to get a better run through 3 and 4 as there's 2 laps to go now. 6 in, 2 to go. Sterling Lubricant Sportsman division here tonight at Humberstone. Gruel gets a way better shot down that time of 1 and 2, and Pachelski misses her spot on the top of 1 and 2, and she's going to kick up a big dust cloud down the back straightaway as she funnels back in line beside the 99P of Panante, battling for forward fish. By Gruel, who's done a good job out front of this one. A couple miscues, but he's been able to keep it out front as now the door opens up for Panante down the back straightaway for third. Let's see what happens there as into 3 and 4. For the final time, checker flag in the air. It's going to be Brandon Gruel over Cody McPherson, Ryan Ferry, Greg Panante fourth, Emily Pachelski fifth, Luke Carlton sixth, John Babian seventh, eighth Matt Sharp, and rounding out the field is the 28 of Mitch DuPont.
Starting in the front row, Jeff Panante from Ridgeway in the 66P. Outside row number 1 in the 15L from Port Colborne to be Adam Leslie. Inside row number 2 from Fort Erie in the 20J will be Bill Gill. Outside row number 2, starting in the 4th position, Jason Fairway from Stony Creek in the 53. Inside row number 3 in the 13M will be Daniel McKay. Starting in 6th position, outside row number 3 from Ridgeway in the number 3 be Noah Mamo. Starting in 7th, inside row number 4. In the number 20 would be Jay Mallory. Starting in the 8th would be Brad Rose from Fort Erie in the 18R. And in the 24C from Hamilton would be Cameron Lane.
All right, green flag in the air now for heat number 2 of our Sterling Lubricant Sportsman division here tonight at Humberstone. Rose gets into the back of Mamo down the front straightaway, and he's going to have to go to the extreme high side to get around some cars in turn number 1 and 2 as he gets into the 20 of Gill down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Leslie now on the high side. He's going to charge around the 66 of Jeff Panante in that 66P, and Adam Leslie on the high side is going to lead lap 1 in that 15 Sterling Lubricant car. So Leslie, your leader over Jeff Panante. Fairway in the 3rd spot in that 53. Noah Mamo in the 3. And Jay Mallory in the 20, rounding out the top 5 at the moment. Rouse wants into the top 5. Last week's winner here at Humberstone in that 18R. Mallory now to the inside of Fairway down the back straightaway, almost 3 wide for the 3rd spot with Mamo up top. Fairway in the middle. Jay Mallory on the bottom. Looking like 3 wide, possibly out of turn number 4 again. And Mallory thinks better of it. Going to wait for a mistake, see what happens. As they go into turn 1, Rouse can't go anywhere as he's got cars literally in every lane right in front of him. So Rouse stuck there in that 18R car, even though he might be a little bit faster than the cars in front of him. Halfway down now, 4 and 4 to go for the 15 at Leslie, doing a good job out front of this second heat race of the night for the Sterling Lubricant Sportsman division here at Humberstone. Still a great battle going on for that 3rd spot. 4 cars going at it. Rouse still can't get around the cars that are battling side by side. Now he finds an opening as Mamo gets too high off turn number 4 and gets into the wall just a little bit in that 3 car. And Rouse finally found the opening he was looking for in that 18R car and gets around 3 cars in 1 lap to move into 3rd. 2 to go this time by for Adam Leslie. In that 15 car, he's stretched it out to about a 12 car length lead now over the 66P of Jeff Panante. Rouse in 3rd. And Jay Mallory now up into the 4th spot. Fairway's falling back into 5th in that 53. As here's the white flag coming up out now for the 15 of Adam Leslie. Back straightaway, he rides in that 15 car into 3 and 4, 2 more corners, and he's going to pick up Pete win number 2 here at Humberstone on Pete Costco Memorial Night. It's going to be Adam Leslie for the win, followed by Jeff Panante in 2nd, 3rd, Brad Rouse, 4th, Jay Mallory, 5th, Jason Fairway, 6th, Noah Mamo, 7th, Daniel McKay, 8th going to be Cameron Lane in that 24C, and rounding out the field, 20J, that's Bill Gill.
Starting in the front row in the 17C from St. Catharines, Jordan Costco. Outside row number 1 in the 74 from Port Robinson will be Dave Flanagan Jr. Starting on the inside, row number 2 in the 72 from St. Catharines will be James Friesen. His outside, starting in the 4th position in the 68 will be Curtis Friesen. Starting inside row number 3 in the 8S from St. Catharines, Ontario will be Justin Sharp. Outside row number 3 in the 108 from Port Robinson will be Billy Bleach. Starting in the 7th position, row number 4 in the 3 Mamo from Ridgeway will be Dave Mamo. On the outside, in the 22 from Niagara Falls will be Terry Smith. And starting inside, row number 5 in the 21P from Port Colborne to be Tyler Pachowski.
Thank you, Steve. Jordan Costco on the pole for this one, heat number 3. He's going to be looking for a good run in this one. Try to pick up the heat win for his grandpa, Pete Costco, at the Pete's Costco Memorial Night, presented by Costco Haulage here at Humberstone. This feature racing for $1,517 later on, and we're green flag in the final heat of the night in the Sportsman division. Flanagan in that 74 charges down through the middle. Costco going to try to catch the bottom. We're going to maybe have 3 wide battle down the back straightaway now for that top spot as JMF in the 72 squeaks her in on the inside of the 17 at Costco. Friesen gets his way in there now, and he's going to take second away from the 17C as Flanagan leads that one over Friesen, Costco, Sharp, who almost won last night, and now Billy Bleach also been fast in the Niagara region in that 108. He's moved into third as Friesen and Flanagan now battling for that top side. JMF looking good on the bottom, and he's going to take the lead away from the 74 Flanagan as they complete lap number 2. Bill Bleach spins out off the top of turn number 3 and 4 in the Mike Knapp Ford 108. So Bill Bleach off the top side of turn number 3 and 4, and we have to go yellow. Get a run back to move up, and as well as that 8S of Justin Sharp in the Blue Moon Potatoes car. Green flag out, and we're racing once again into turn number 1. Friesen gets a good start, going to lead by half a car into 1. Flanagan going to try to do the same thing. Slide job himself, but it doesn't work quite as good this time as Friesen powers away down the back straightaway, and now the other Friesen in this one, Curtis, in the 68, looks to the inside of Sharpie in turn number 3 and 4. Sharp gets a good run around the top side. He's going to hold on to third for now. Costco's faded back to the 5th spot in that 17C, looking to get under the 68 of Friesen again, as we've got Bill Bleach Jr. super slow on the front stretch. See if he can make it back to the pits there as Friesen, James Michael Friesen out front in this one at the halfway mark with Flanagan and Sharp still your top 3. Best battle on the track right now for about that 4th spot is Jordan Costco gets into the 68 of Curtis Friesen down the back straightaway, and Friesen goes around. He's stopped in the middle of the back straightaway infield off the back stretch, and we have to go yellow for the 68 of Curtis Friesen. Jordan Costco being told by race director that he's going to have to move to the back of the field for his involvement in that one on the back stretch with the 68 of Friesen. So tough break for those 2 drivers. Dave Flanagan in that 74 also been fast, and he's rolling second still in that 74. Going to see what happens on this restart. Green flag in the air. We're racing once again into turn number 1 and 2. Pachowski in that 21P having a great run in this heat, moving up from the back. I believe he started shotgun on the field, and now he's powering around the 8S of Justin Sharp down the back straightaway. Great battle for that 3rd spot, as now Curtis Friesen already back up into 5th in that 68 car as he got under the 22 of Terry Smith that time. Pachowski and Sharp still going to war for the 3rd spot. Flanagan not letting Friesen get too far away out front of this one. Sharp slides up across the middle, blocks the progress of Pachowski in that 21P. Pachowski is going to say, okay, no problem, I'm going to cross it under you. And it looks like it's going to be a little bit of door contact between the 21 and 8 that time at the start-finish line. Great battle for that 3rd spot between Pachowski and Sharp, as Friesen leads down the back straightaway for the final time now into 3 and 4. Checker flag going to be waving in the air. Final heat of the night goes to James Michael Friesen in the 72, followed by David Flanagan in the 74, Justin Sharp in the 8S, Tyler Pachowski in the 21, 4th, 5th, Terry Smith in the 22, 6th was 17 of Costco, 68 of Friesen.
Starting in the front row in the number 12 from Port Colborne to be Chad Chevier. Starting outside, row number 1 in the 41 would be Boyd McTavish. Inside, row number 2 from St. Catharines in the 777, Tyler Willard. Starting in the 4th position outside, row number 2, Jordan Peters in the 1 JP from Fort Erie. Starting in the 3rd row, inside, 5th position, Brian Page from Ridgeway in the 43. Outside, row number 3, Jay Mallory in the 0, and starting inside row number 4 from St. Catharines, Ontario in the 2X would be Tom Neal.
Chevalier and McTavish side by side in turn number 3 and 4. These 358 modifieds going to put the power down, and green flag is out on heat number 1. McTavish going to push that cushion in turn number 1 and 2. He gets a good bite down the back straightaway. McTavish in the 41. Chevalier in the Rick's Delivery 12 on the bottom. Chevalier now gets a better run through 3 and 4. As we're going to see who it is at the line. It's Chevalier by a front tire over the 41 to McTavish, who's pushing that high side. Tyler Willard in the 777 in third. Jordan Peters in the Peters car moving up to fourth. Page in fifth. At the moment, it's still battle side by side for that lead spot. It's McTavish up top and Chevalier on the bottom. And old Floyd McTavish takes the lead that time into turn number 1 and 2. Great run off the top for Boyd as he gets a little too high that time. Opens up the door again for Chevalier. Let's see what Chevalier does. He's going to plug the bottom again. McTavish is going to push that cushion, which is getting right up to the lip. And let's see who leads that line again. It's McTavish over Chevalier. Great battle for that lead spot between those two cars. Pretty much the same thing every lap. Chevalier slides up to his door in 1 and 2. McTavish powers down the back straightaway with the momentum. Into the top side, 3 and 4. McTavish back to that extreme cushion on the top of 3 and 4, and he leads at the halfway point in that 41. Good run for Boyd McTavish so far in this first heat. McTavish looks like he's almost going to fall off the top of turn 2, but then powers down the back straightaway. Same thing almost in 3 and 4. Chevalier gets the bite going in. That time Chevalier leads by a wheel. Great battle between these two modified veterans at the front of this one. Chevalier and McTavish. Super fun race at the front of this field. Nice and clean between the 12 and 41. Pretty much doing the same thing every lap, giving themselves just enough room as they see 2 to go this time by. And McTavish leads that one by a lap. Great battle at the front of this 358 modified heat number 1 tonight. They know the money's on the line, and they are going at it hard, tooth and nail. As we've got cars around in the turn 3 and 4. I missed that one. It's the 0 of Jay Mallory and the 43 of Brian Page. They've spun out in the middle of turn 3 and 4. And that's going to put the fire extinguisher on that wicked battle for the lead in this first heat between Chevalier and McTavish. Nice and slow down the back straightaway with the 41 of McTavish and the 12 of Chevalier. RPMs come up, green flag is out, and we are racing once again into turn number 1 and 2. Chevalier does get a little bit of a better jump on the 41 of McTavish. McTavish hasn't run the bottom yet in that 41 car, but he hits it perfectly out of 2 and is going to power down to the inside, still lead into 3 and 4, but now Chevalier's got that powerful top side on the top of 3 and 4, and Chevalier is going to lead that lap. Chevalier on the powerful top side out of 3 and 4 is able to roll the momentum. Now he rolls the black stuff in the middle of 1 and 2, gets good bite down the back straightaway. McTavish still holding on for second. Jordan Peters in that 1P going to try to get to the outside of the 777 of Willard. At the line it is 12. Chevalier picking up the win over McTavish. Jordan Peters, Tyler Willard, Jay Mallory, Tom Neal, Brian Page rounds out the field for Heat 1 of our modified division here tonight. That was a heck of a race out front between the 12 of Chevalier, who eventually picks up the win in the Rick's Delivery 12 car over Thank you, Steve. We've got Tanner Podwinski and Austin Wood on the front row of this one. Trevor Wright, great run last night in third spot for that 09, first podium, top 3 in the 358 modified division, with Cody McPherson picking up the ride in the backup Podwinski car for tonight's action at the Pete Costco Memorial. He was a great friend to Pete as well, so he picks up a ride. I'm sure he's happy about that as the green flag flying in this one. Heat number 2 is green with Austin Wood, who has been having... Fred Carlton now in the 96 gets off the top of turn number 1 and 2. So Fred Carlton in that 96 Niagara Employment Center 96 spins her out off the top of turn number 1 and 2. And we are still green at the moment with the... Now we're yellow. There it is. Caution flag out for the 96 of Carlton off turn 2. We're going to re-rack them and stack them and get back to green. Anywhere between the 2 cones in 4. Green flag is out and we're racing once again. Great start for the 1XP of Austin Wood into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Delario in that 08. Delario trying to get to the outside of Podwinski. Now we're 3 wide down the back straightaway with Cody McPherson in that other Podwinski car, the green 72. Cody McPherson doing a good job. He's already up into second in that Podwinski car as Austin Wood leads that one over McPherson in the 72. And Delario 108, top 3 at the moment. Tanner Podwinski in the red 72 and Trevor Wright in the 09 battling for 4th. Right now down the back straightaway as Wright gets to the inside of Podwinski into 3 and 4. Best battle on the track right now at the back of the field between the 09 of Wright, 72 of Podwinski, 96 of Carlton, and the 71 of Bowman. Or sorry, that's the 71 of Bigelow in the blue car. 2 71s out here tonight, as well as 72, so that's going to get a little confusing up here in the booth. Austin Wood in that 1XP doing a great job in that Peters construction car out front of this one. He had a good run last night at Merrittville as well. He's pushing that cushion in both ends of the speedway and pulling away from that 72 of McPherson just a little bit. Just as I say that, McPherson's starting to find his groove in that 72, and it's definitely not letting the 1XP of Wood get away too far as Delario on the 108 starts to fall back a little bit from the 72 of McPherson. McPherson starting to find the bite in that 72 car. He's reeling in Wood just a little bit in that 1XP car as they see 2 to go this time by Fast Freddy in that 96 after the early spins up to 3rd in the Niagara Employment Center, number 96 down the back straightaway. Fast Freddy up to the 3rd as he dusts a little dust down the back straightaway, kicks the right rear off as Austin Wood sees the white flag carrying that left front down in the air down the front straightaway, and that 1XP back to the top side in 1 and 2. Austin Wood's been nice and solid out front in this one. Into 3 and 4, final time. Checker flag in the air for heat number 2 in tonight's Peace Costco Memorial 358 Modified Division is going to be Austin Wood picks up the win over Cody McPherson. Freddie Carlton in 3rd, 4th Mark Delario. 5th was a dead heat at the line between 09 of Wright and Bowman in the 71, and Tanner Podwinski in that 72 car rounds out the field. Right now, and here's the lineup from Steve.
All right, here we go. Heat number 3, 8 laps. Inside row number 1, and the 28 will be Todd Gordon. Outside row number 1 and the 73 will be Dylan Davidson. Inside row number 2, Shane Pierce in the 88. Outside row number 2 in the number 6 will be Matt Williamson. Starting in 5th position, 3rd row, Mike Bowman in the 71. Outside row number 3 in the 1P from Fort Erie, Ontario will be Darren Peters. And starting in the 7th position, inside row number 4 in the 2 Cool from Welland, Ontario, Derek Van Mel.
Thank you, Steve. Mike Bowman in this heat in the 71. That was a photo finish between Wright and Brent Bigelow in the blue 71 in the last one. That was my mistake again. So Mike Bowman in this one, starting 5th. And Pete Costco's grandson, Dylan Davidson, in that 73, looking for a good run. He's starting outside of row number 1 in this one. Green flag is out, and it's a race between the 73 of Davidson and the 28 of Gordon into turn number 1 and 2. Davidson gets that right rear into the cushion. Him and Gordon get into it a little bit, and that forces Davidson off the top of turn number 2. Tough break for the 73 of Dylan Davidson as they race into turn number 3 right now. Big gaggle of cars for the over that top 5 spots. You can throw a blank over and they race under the start-finish line. Loaded heat here in this final heat tonight for the 358 Modifieds, with last night's winner Matt Williamson in that 6 car looking to try to get around the 28 of Todd Gordon, your early leader. There's the opening for the 6 that he was looking for, and he's going to power through and lead this lap for the 6 over the 28 of Gordon, the 88 of Shane Pierce, 37 of Lindbergh, and 71 of Bowman rounding out the top 5 at the moment. Pierce looked into the inside of Lindbergh. Those two had a spirited battle last night, and now here they are, sure enough, side by side in the heat race tonight. It's the way it goes usually, as Lindbergh still powering in that 3rd spot, trying to look to get around the 28 of Gordon now as he's moving in, as Bowman takes advantage of Pierce slipping into the slick stuff, and Bowman powers by into that 4th spot now down the back straightaway as Matt Williamson picks off another one as we're 2 wide now for the 2nd spot with Lindbergh and Gordon. Lindbergh's found his way to the inside of the 28 of Gordon. Lindbergh slips up, finds the bite off the bottom of 2 and powers down the back straightaway, and he's into the 2nd spot now as Bowman's going to try to get around the 28 of Gordon as Lindbergh has taken that 2nd spot away, carrying left front down the front straightaway. Williamson clicks off another lap. We got 3 laps to go here in our final heat race of the night. 2 to go this time in the air for the 6 S&W Service Center car of Williamson, followed by the 37 of Lindbergh. Bowman and Gordon still going at it for that 3rd spot in the 28 and 71 cars respectively. Here comes the white flag now for your leader, Matt Williamson, in that 6. Bowman still all over the back bumper of the 28 Gordon. Best battle on the track right now is for the 3rd spot. Out front, it's Matt Williamson charging to turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. Checker flag in the air for the final heat race tonight of the 358 modified division goes to Matt Williamson over Gary Lindbergh in second. Third, Todd Gordon. Fourth, Mike Bowman. Fifth, Shane Pierce. Sixth is going to be Dylan Davidson by a nose over Derek Van Mill. It's Chad Chevalier in the 12. Let's see what number Chad pulls. It's number 5 for Heavy Chevy. So chuck her into the crowd. Oh, yes. Yeah. Go get another one. Tough break there. You threw All right, sorry about that one. All right. Second person to draw is the 1XP, Austin Wood. He got number 2. Imagine that. We can call that one my fault. So all the modified drivers, you can blame me individually. Up next, Matt Williamson. Good thing he didn't get that one. Let's see if he can find the 1. Number 9 for Matt Williamson, so he's got some work to do in that 6 car. Matt Williamson gets number 9. Up next, 41, Boyd McTavish. Here comes Boyd. Had a great run in his heat with the 12 of Chevalier. Fashionably late in that 41 car as always. All right, Boyd, pick her up. Number 12 for B-Mac, Boyd McTavish. So he's got lots of work to do in that 41 car. Up next, moonlighting in the 72K car tonight. The backup Podwinty car is Cody McPherson, and he is up next. Cody gets number 6, so not too bad for Cody McPherson in the 72K. Cody's going to start 6th tonight. Up next will be the 37S of Gary Lindbergh. Number 10 for Gary Lindbergh. Up next, 1P. That's going to be Jordan Peters. Number 7 for Jordan Peters in the 1P. Up next, Fast Freddie Carlton in the 96. Number 1 still out there. Number 8 for Fast Fred. Up next, Todd Gordon, 28. Number 4 for Todd Gordon. So decent starting spot tonight for the Blue Moon Potatoes car. Up next, Tyler Willard in that 777. It is number 3 for Tyler Willard. So good spot for the 777 car. We've got 2 cars left. We got the 08 up next of Mark Delario. Number 11 for Delario. And that's going to leave the number 1 for the 71 of Mike Bowman. We're just going to make it official. Bowman, there it is, the 1 for Mike Bowman. We'll get a little quick interview with him. All right, Mike, you got a little bit of luck on your side. Not the best heat race for you. We're going to be starting from the pole tonight. 3,000 to win for Pete Costco. I know you're a good buddy with him. Tell us about it.
Yeah, you can't get a better spot to go off for $3,000 than that, and hopefully we get her done for Pete.
Yeah, I hear you there. We're all looking forward to tonight's feature, and congrats starting on the pole. We'd look to see you in victory lane here tonight, so good luck tonight in the Pete Costco Memorial. All right, up next tonight, very special moment as we're going to get ready to honor Pete Costco. The victory lane here at Humberstone is going to be in memory of Pete Costco for the rest of time here at Humberstone. So Pete, as we all know, is a great supporter here of racing, and he lived and breathed the sport. He was a huge deal in the Niagara region. It was all super sad when we lost him a few years ago, and every year we've been having this big event at Humberstone Speedway. We've got some of the family members here tonight as we dedicate the victory lane for Pete here. We've got Linda Costco and the Davidson family here down here as well, and Jordan Costco. All right, Linda, we're dedicating the victory lane here at Humberstone. I know you guys owned the Speedway for a long time. You had a big, huge deal here. You saved the Speedway from a year off. It was dusted for a year. You guys saved it, and tell us how special it is for you to have victory lane here in memory of Pete for the rest of time.
Very nice.
Yeah, I agree, and we'll talk to Bob Davidson as well. Bobby, you ran the Speedway for quite a while. You dealt with victory lane, dealt with everything there is. Tell you how it feels to be here, standing in the Pete Costco Memorial victory lane as we dedicate. We had his bike sitting here earlier. I saw you ride it off. Must feel pretty special for you here tonight.
Yeah, really nice.
No, it's been good, and Terry's doing a great job, and this is a huge honor for the family. You know, you never know where racing's going, especially when it's hard to make it in a track. I know this, and that's why we've had different people try to take over, and hopefully they have better ideas and more success. And for Terry to do this for us it's just amazing, and we're very happy to continue this on.
Yeah, I know. I hear you there totally. I shed a tear myself when I saw the bike sitting here earlier and saw Pete's stuff sitting out in front, always immaculate. You guys are carrying on the Costco Haulage name as well. So congrats to all you people here. And as we honor Pete here tonight at Humberstone, and we'll get some pictures here out front. And that's now the Pete Costco Victory Lane here at Humberstone. So fans, put your hands together for the Victory Lane ceremony here at Humberstone. Thanks to the Costco family and Davidson families for everything they did here at Humberstone. They saved it back in 05-ish when we had to take a year off from racing here at Humberstone. The track sat idle, and if it wasn't for them, wasn't for Pete, we don't know what could have happened, and here we are today, all these years later, still racing. So thank you to them for everything they do, and it's super emotional down here in Victory Lane with all the family, and I love to see it. Thanks, guys.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them.
Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at weathertech.ca.
10 laps, top 6 qualify. Brian Cullen Chevrolet Silverado Pace Truck pulls into the infield. First appearance for it tonight in this Sportsman B-main. And we are green out of 4 with Babian and McKay down the front straightaway. They're side by side through the field. Shaking and baking for those transfer spots. Sharp misses the top side in 1 and 2. He's going to slide off the top side. There's the belly pin on the 1J, but he gets her squared up and way down the back straightaway as Babian moves to the inside of McKay in turn 3 and 4, looking for that lead spot as the 3 of Mamo and Sharp fall off the top side of turn 3. And we have to go yellow for the 5 of Matt Sharp. Nice and tight, square and even in turn number 3 and 4. Green flag in the air, and we're back underway in the Sportsman Consolation event tonight at the Pete Costco Memorial. Bleach crosses lines and switches up to the top side. He's into third now in the 108 as Jordan Costco's moved his way into the second position behind the 13 of McKay. As 2 more cars have slid off the top of turn number 3. That's Sharp and Lane. Humberstone Speedway pace truck peels her into turn 3. He's into the safety of the infield. McKay and Costco gonna roll it again. Green flag out on the speedway. We are racing once again into turn number 1 and 2. Costco gets a good jump that time in the 17. Gonna try the roll the middle, slide up to the bite off turn number 1 and 2, side by side. Now down the front, back straightaway for the lead. Bleach in that 108. Looking to move to the inside of them two as well. Bleach now to the inside of Costco. Out of turn number 4. Side by side for that second spot and still all over the back bumper of the 13 McKay as Costco misses the top side and he's off turn number 1 and 2. Looks like he's stalled it in that 17C off the top of 1 and 2. McKay clicks off another lap and we are yellow for the 17C of Costco off the top of turn 2. McKay and Bleach, front row, firing at the cones. Green flag is out, and we are racing once again. Bleach gets a good start in that 108 car. He powers to the top side of 1 and 2 around the 13 of McKay. Costco's already got by 1 car, now working on the 3 Mamo of Dave Mamo down the back straightaway, and there it is. Jordan Costco now into the 6th and final transfer spot as Lane in that 24 pushes up, and that makes room for Costco to gain another one. Now Costco back to 5th. He was second when he fell out, but Costco back solidly now with 1 spot of insurance in that transfer spot, and he's going to try to move up a little farther and prove his position in tonight's starting field. As now Bleach in the 108 trying to move up 1 position in tonight's starting lineup as well as he tries to get around the 13 of McKay. Bleach on the bottom, McKay on the top. Now Bleach gets the good bite down the back straightaway, and he's going to pull into the lead in turn number 3 and 4 around the 13 of Daniel McKay, who tucks in behind him in second now. Sharp third, Babian, Costco, and Lane are your transfer cars in the moment. Mamo and Gill on the outside looking in. As we're 7 in, 3 to go here in tonight's B-main for our Sportsman division here at Humberstone Pete Costco Memorial Night. 2 to go now for the 108 of Bleach. Bill Bleach comes out of 3 and 4, sees the white flag this time now in our 10-lap Sportsman Consi here tonight. Lane pretty solid in that final transfer spot in the 24C. He's got almost a straightaway over the 3 of Mamo. into 3 and 4, final time. 6 final tickets going to be punched into tonight's feature. Checker flag waving out of turn number 4. It's Bill Bleach picking up the win. Followed by second, McKay. Third, Sharp. Fourth, Babian over Costco. Fifth, and Cameron Lane rounds out the transfer cars into tonight's 30-lap, $1,517 to win Sterling Lubricant Division Sportsman feature here tonight. So good run for the 108 of Bleach, coming from the back to the front, pick up the win in the B-main.
Thank you, Travis. Starting in the front row, pole position in the 44B from Smithville, Leroy Buscom. Outside row number 1 in the 7B will be Brandon Hughes. Starting in the third position in the 5K from Fonthill will be Ken Hare. Outside row number 2, Austin Wershow from Niagara-on-the-Lake in the 71W. Inside row number 3 in the 16 from Ancaster will be Fabio Oliveri. Starting in the 6th position in the 21X from Caledonia will be Mark Bazine. Starting in 7th, outside row number 4 in the 114 from Welland to be Kyle Rothwell. In the 8th position, outside row number 4, Tyler Lafontese. And from Thorold, Ontario in the 96T. Starting in the 5th row, 9th position, John Luback from Port Colborne in the 14L. Outside row number 5 in the 91 from Hamilton, Oliver Larocque. Starting in 11th position in the 3K, inside row number 6 from Fonthill will be Kevin Kokorek. Kevin Kokorek, that's right. We got it. Finally pronounced it correctly. In the 12th position, inside row number 7, Mike Saracantos from Smithville, Ontario in the 6X. Starting in the 13th position in the 71C from Port Colborne, Ray Serenzia. In 14th position, inside row number 8 from St. Anne's, Ontario in the 34 will be Randy Elway. And starting in 15th, in row number 8 in the 38S from Welland will be Sam Iftadi.
Thank you, Steve. All right, we got Buscom and Hughes on the front row of this one. Dow Auto Mini Stocks going 15 laps for $517 tonight here at Humberstone. Tonight. They've been racing for $300 to win the last couple of weeks, so $217 more as we're racing through turn number 1 and 2. A couple of cars getting out of shape. Everyone gets rolling down the back straightaway as Buscom in that 44 leads over the 7 of Coos and the 5K of Hare. Here comes Mark Bazine in that 21 car around the top side in that Burger Barn 21X. Bazine battling with Horseshoe now for that 4th spot. LaFontaine and Olivieri battling for 5th. Still out front, 44. That's Leroy Buscom. He's pulling away a little bit now from the 7 of Cuse and the 5K of Air. As here he comes this time by. Too quick off the second lap. 2 in, 13 to go here for the Dow Auto Mini Stock. $517 to win. 15-lap feature tonight here at Humberstone Speedway Pete Costco Memorial. Presented by Costco Haulage. Field pretty single file at the moment. Olivieri and LaFontaine getting side by side. So are Worstrow and Kenny Hare. Now Worstrow powers around the outside of Hare. He's going to move into the 3rd spot in that 71. We got cars around in the middle of 3 and 4. Yellow flags out. Looks like the 38. Sam Iftadi nosed up against a guardrail in the middle of 3 and 4. 71 Cerenzia seemed to be involved as well. Cerenzia kept it rolling though. Iftadi stalled, nosed up against the guardrail in 3 and 4. Field assembled, nice, tight, square, and even down the back straightaway. Pace truck picks up the RPM, pulls into the safety of the infield. Buscom and Cuse going to bring him back to green flag. And we'll be racing once again in our Dow Auto Mini Stock feature tonight here at the Pete Costco Memorial at Humberstone Speedway. Green flag in the air. We are racing once again. Cuse in that 7G gets a really good start to the outside of Buscom, but Cuse is going to miss the top side and come around in front of the field, and he gets drilled by the 114 of Rothwell. We've got a parking lot in the middle of turn 2, started by the 7G of Cuse going around. Rothwell nowhere to go in that one, got collected hard, as well as the 71 Cerenzia 3K of Kokorick. Rothwell might have took the worst in that one in that 114 car. Hare in the 5K, 96 LaFontaine behind them. And then Olivieri and Larocque round out the top 6 at the moment as the Brian Cullen Chevrolet Silverado Humberstone Speedway pace truck pulls it off turn number 3. Nice and slow pace through 3 and 4. They can fire anywhere at the cones on the 2 barrels in turn number 4. Green flag is out. And we are racing once again here at the Humberstone Speedway. Worstrow gets a great start in that 71 car around the outside of Buscombe. He noses out in front just a little bit. Side by side out at turn number 2 for the top 6 spots down the back straightaway. Worstrow is going to nose out in front in that Volkswagen number 71. Here comes LaFontaine in the 96 trying to look to the outside of Buscombe now as they come out of turn 4. It looks like the 16 of Olivieri. He's got the bumper cover dragging. Front splitter all folded up on that one, as the NASCAR boys would say. And we have to go yellow for the 16 of Olivieri, stopped on the top of turn 4. All right, now we're going to get back to green with Worstrow and Buscombe on that front row. Pace truck into the safety of the infield. Green flag in the starter's hand, going to get ready to unwave it. There it is. Green flag out. Good start for the 71 of Worstrow. Buscombe going to pull in behind him in that 44. That opens up the outside for the 5K of Hare to try it, but he's going to get go side by side down the back straightaway with this 96 of LaFontaine. LaRock in the 91 now into that 5th spot. Looks to split the middle between the 5K and the 96. LaRock looking racy as he's got a couple of cars into each other on the back straightaway as they're going to turn into each other a little hard each way. That was Serengia and Iftadi having a pretty good disagreement there out of 4. Back out front, Austin Worstrow starting to pull away now in that 71 car. Worstrow, I believe, was the winner on the All-Canadian night here on GForceTV back early August. Worstrow on that 71 has been mighty quick on the Niagara mini stock scene, and he leads this Dow Auto mini stock feature here at Humberstone now with 6 laps in, 9 to go for the 15-lap feature, as now the yellow has to come out once again for the 3K of Coke Grit, who is extra slow on the front straightaway. Worstrow and Buscombe going to try her again. Same spot as it's been all night. They're going to fire between the 2 cones and 4. RPMs come up, green flag waves, and we are racing once again into turn number 1, 2. Worstrow once again gets a good start in that 71 car. Buscombe tucks in once again, just like he has the last few restarts. LaFontaine in third now. LaRock throws her up on that top side in that 91, trying to get by the 96 of LaFontaine. LaRock looking racy in that 91 car tonight, definitely having a good run. Olivier LaRock trying to power around the outside of Tyler LaFontaine in that 96, who's also nosing in now on the 44 of Buscombe. Now LaRock misses his marks a little bit that time, opened up the door for the 21 of Bazine as Kenny Hare dips the wheels into the dirt down the back straightaway, kicks up some dust as we're halfway now in this Dow Auto mini stock feature tonight at the Pete Costco Memorial presented by Costco Haulage. LaFontaine still working on Buscombe. Buscombe trying to keep him down on the inside, not let him get a good entry into 3, but LaFontaine has nosed in there enough to show his presence, and now LaFontaine is going to move into second in that 96. Don't look now, but Worstrow's got LaFontaine chasing him down, but Worstrow's got a solid 15 car length lead now in that 71 car, so 96 LaFontaine's got some work if he wants to reel him in. LaRock still battling in that 91, back to 4th, 5 laps to go now. Starter gives a big wave to our drivers as LaRock gets around the outside of the 41 of Buscombe for that 3rd spot. Olivier LaRock, like I said, he's been having a great run here tonight. 71 Buscombe, he's having 71 Worstrow having a great one out front as well, as he's got 4 to go this time by, as he's trying to bring home our $517 to win purse here tonight for our Dow Auto mini stocks. LaRock and Buscombe, best battle on the speedway right now. LaRock tries to get a little shot to Buscombe, doesn't quite get to his back bumper, but he's still within a car length down the back straightaway. He's got the 38 of Iftadi extra slow down the front straightaway. Let's see what happens with him as Worstrow clicks off another lap. That's lap 12 in the books. 12 in the books, 3 to go as Iftadi's still squeaking around the top side of turn number 1 and 2. He might make it back to the pits. We might be able to stay green here as Worstrow kicks off another one. It's 2 to go now. Twin sticks in the air for the 71 of Worstrow. 2 more tours around Humberstone Speedway till he picks up the big Pete Costco Memorial win for our Dow Auto mini stocks. White flag. Oh, we got caution. The car did not make it back to the pits. If Toddy stopped off the top of turn number 2 in that Mustang, and that's definitely not what the 71 of Worcester wanted to see, is now we're going to have a 2-lap shootout for the money in this Dow Auto Mini Stock feature here tonight, and he's going to have the 96 of LaFontaine, last week's winner, right on his rear bumper, and that eliminates the almost straightaway lead he had. Humberstone Speedway pace truck pulls into the safety of the infield. Here we go. Worstro and LaFontaine. Buscombe, don't count him out, or LaRock in that 91. They've all been looking fast here tonight at Humberstone. Green flag in the air. We got a 2-lap shootout for the money as Hare gets turned a little bit on the restart. Hare and 21 Bazine get into it as they come to green. But we're clean and green right now as out front still 71 of Worstro. Looking to hold off. Heavy hitter in behind him, 96 LaFontaine. Here we go. White flag going to be waving in the air this time. One more lap for the dough. Can Worstro hold on? 4 more corners. Austin Worstro on that 71. LaFontaine going to need a big effort. He's still about 4 car lengths back. LaFontaine going to try a bonsai in 3 and 4. He's going to have to do something, but it's not going to work out. Checker flag waving in the air. It's going to be Austin Worstro picking up the Pete Costco Memorial Dow Auto Mini Stock feature, followed by 96 LaFontaine, 44 Buscombe, 3rd, 4th, 91 LaRock, 5th Hare, 6th Lubeck, 7th Olivieri, 8th Vazine, 9th Almer, and 10th is the 71 of Cerenzia. Alway in the 34, my mistake. Linda Costco going to be our flag bearer, handing the checker flag to our tonight's feature winners. In Pete Costco victory lane here at Humberstone Speedway tonight, Terry Vince putting the big check for $517 for our Dow Auto Supplies mini stock feature. Here he is climbing out of the car. Number 71, tonight's feature winner, it's Austin Worstro. Austin, work your way out front here. Get the flag unfurled. Austin, you've been super fast here. Picked up the win a couple weeks ago as well at the All-Canadian race on GForce. Tell us about your race there. Just followed them around, picked off your move, and made the move, and just followed it home for the win, picked up the big check. Tell us about it.
Well, car's just crazy fast here. The new track's amazing. Got to give a big thank you to Kyle Rothwell for the push start. Starter gave out, and everyone ran a great race.
Yep, I see lots of sponsors here on this number 71 car. A couple feature wins here for it. Why don't you tell us about all your sponsors and everyone who helped you get here to Pete Costco Memorial Victory Lane and pick up the $517 check?
Fix Auto St. Catharines, Goliath Moving, Sold Auto Parts, Automotive Warehouse, Auto Value Hyundai, Exclusive Imprint for making the car look great with the stripes, and Team Max Bar and Grill.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's feature winner in this 71. You got all the sponsors in there. It's Austin Worstro picking up the $517 win here tonight. Up next will be our feature for the GR Environmental Street Stocks. They're going for $817 to win in a 20-lap feature, and I'm going to throw it up to Steve for the lineup.
And now here's your lineup for your Thunderstock feature event. Starting in the front row in the number 55 from Caledonia, Mike Thorne. Outside row number 1 in the 03 from Belleville will be Justin Ramsey. Inside row number 2 from Welland in the 05 will be Pete Reed. Starting in 4th position in the 01 JR will be Barry Beck Jr. Starting in the 5th position inside row number 3 from Port Colborne in the 1J, Jason Fontaine. Starting in the 6th position, outside row number 3, the 25 will be Kenny Sargent. Starting in the 7th position, inside row number 4 in the 26 from Shannonville will be Craig Hanley. Starting in the 8th position, outside row number 4 in the 37 from Harley, Ontario will be Robert Hoskins. Starting in the 9th position, in the 33J from Allenberg will be Kevin Knapp. Starting in 10th. In the 84RK from Victoria will be Ryan Beagle. Starting in the 11th position inside row number 6 in the 79 from Guelph will be Kristen Hale. Starting in 12th, outside row number 6 in the 49 from Hagersville will be Dave Bailey. 13th position inside row number 7 in the 601 from St. Catharines be Jeff Larmitz. Starting in 14th, outside row number 7 in the 28 from Caister Center be Jimmy Latmont. Starting in 15th position in the 30 RJ row number 8 from Stony Creek be Kevin Sharp, and on the outside from Thorold in the number 11 will be Go Fast Teeple. Starting in the 17th position inside row number 9 from Grimsby will be Robert Disher. Outside row number 9. Starting in the 18th position from Dunville in the 37J will be Jeff Bean. Starting in 19th position, row number 10 on the inside in the 108 JR from Port Robinson to be Zach Bleach. Starting on his outside to be Bryce Richardson from Port Colborne in the 11th R. Starting in the 11th position on the inside to be Brandon Swinson in the 96.
Reed and Beck in behind him. They want to win that feature as well as last week's winner, Fontaine, starting 5th. Green flag is out. We are racing into turn number 1 and 2. Ramsey and Thornton side by side into 1 and 2. We got cars together at the back of the field. Looks like the 30 of Sharp, 17 Disher, and possibly 108 Bleach is the car that has stopped there. As we got Hale around in turn number 3 as well. Mayhem all over the speedway to start that race. Definitely an ugly start there, as 108 Bleach stopped in turn number 1, as well as Hale going around in turn 3. Hale now getting her spun around down the back straightaway. Might be taking that way to the pits. Ready to go, Reed and Ramsey, front row. They're in the cone spot. They fire. Hanley now into that second spot over the 1J of Fontaine. 0-3 of Ramsey now to the top side. Dave Bailey now in that 49, always works his way methodically through the field. He's up to about the 7th spot in that 49, working with the 28 of Ramsey. Starting to fall through the field a little bit. 26 car, Greg Hanley starting to gain just a little bit on that 05 of Reed, as we've got a car around in the middle of turn number 3 and 4. Looks like the 37 of Bean. And we have to go yellow. Sorry, that's the 96. My bad. Pace truck into the safety of the infield. Reed and Hanley now on the front row. Green flag is out. We are racing once again in Humberstone. Half-car jump on the 26 of Hanley. 1J Fontaine now to the inside of the 26. He was in the right lane for that restart, and he powers down the inside, passing the 26 for that second spot. Jim Lamon in that 28 car looking fast tonight as well in that 28 Camaro. Jim Lamon looking to the inside of Craig Hanley. He did not get the best restart in that 26 car. As Ramsey starting to find some more speed in the 0-3. He fell back early, but now he's starting to pick him back off around the top side. He's got Dave Bailey just behind him. Reed noses back out in front, though, in that 0-5. Reed jumps back out to about the same lead he had before that caution. Reed clicks off another lap. That's 7 in the books, 13 to go in this street stock feature here tonight at Humberstone Speedway. Big problems in the middle of turn number 2. Looks like the 33J of Knapp around in turn number 2. Gets nosed by the 37 of Hoskins. Zach Bleach, another innocent bystander victim again. Bleach, tough night in that 108 car. .33J of Knapp getting her backed up. All right, enough of that nonsense. Pace truck back to the infield. We're going to go back green in this 20-lap street stock feature. Green flag out. We're racing once again. Fontaine. Great restart in that 1J. He's going to lead into turn number 1 and 2. Takes the line away from Pete Reed into turn number 1 and 2. Ramsey faded back early, but now he's back to the outside as we're cautioned. Can't quite see what's wrong here as drivers slow up into turn number 3. Starters didn't like that start out of the 1J. He's been told to make it a little more even that time as he got the jump on the pole car. Pete Reed is the control car in that 05, so he's got to fire first. All right, Reed and Fontaine, going to try this again. Hanley and Ramsey in behind them. Couple Brighton cars with a couple Humberstone cars in front of them. Looking for that $817. We got cars all over the place again on the back. We've got the 30 of Sharp into the infield. Hopefully he's got into the infield enough. As we got another car off the top of turn number 1. Mikey Thorne going to take her back to the pits, but we are still green at the moment as the 30 car is far enough into the infield to keep her out of the way as we're 3 wide for about roughly the 7th spot with Hale, Beck, and 84 of Beagle. Beagle now moves into that 6th spot down the back straightaway. Beagle fast in that 84 always. Nice and smooth, loves the slick track in that 84. Fontaine up front. Or sorry, it's Reed up front. Fontaine battling with Ramsey for that 2nd spot as we are now 8 laps in. 12 to go in this GR Environmental Street Stock feature here tonight. Now 26, Craig Hanley pokes a nose to the inside of Fontaine into 3 and 4. Fontaine misses his entry a little bit, gonna have to roll the middle. That opens up the door for the 26 of Hanley, who drives by the 1J of Fontaine. Bad corner there for the Fonz as he got into the slick stuff in the middle of 3 and 4, and that's going to lose multiple positions as Bailey in the 49 goes by as well. Also the 79 of Hale and now the 84 of Beagle. So that's how tough this street stock division is here at Humberstone. One mistake and Fontaine loses 4 spots as Pete Reed clicks off another lap. We are 11 into this one. Pete Reed, 05, going to click off another lap. Ramsey now into 2nd, starting to settle in and chase down number 05. We got 1J, the Fontaine, Jason Fontaine machine into the infield. He gets her pulled down. Tough break for the 1J of Fontaine, your early 2nd place cars. Now he sits in the infield with no power in that 1J. Up front still 05 of Reed, clicking off another one with the 03 of Ramsey and the 26 of Hanley, and behind them, couple Brighton cars with Bailey and Beagle battling for that 4th spot. Ken Sargent, the 25 and Hale, don't count them out as well as they're solidly inside the top 8. Single file around the speedway for the moment, but that 03 Ramsey definitely start to move in a little bit on that 1J. Or sorry, of that 05 of Pete Reed. 5 laps to go here for our GR Environmental Street Stock feature. Ramsey slowly starting to close the gap. He wants that $817 feature win to make the drive out from the Brighton area well worth it. Ramsey in that 03 from Belleville. Long trek home for him here on this Sunday night. He wants that $817 to make it worth it. He's closing in slowly on the 05 of Reed, but Reed's definitely got a nice attitude to that race car rolling around the bottom. Going to be tough for the 05 of Reed, or 03 of Ramsey to get by the 05 of Reed as we come to 3 to go this time by. Lap car for your leaders, but it's up on the top side. It's the 96 car of Swinson. Reed gets by nice and safe as well as the 03 of Ramsey, who is now right on the back door of the 05 of Reed. Gives him a shot in 3 and 4. Parallel flags in the air. 2 to go for the 05 of Reed, but he's got Ramsey trying to cross him over. Ramsey stuck her in the middle. Diamond in the corner, tried to get under Reed, but Reed held the bottom perfectly as Reed also holds the bottom. They're into it, down the back straightaway. Ramsey got into Reed. He's into him again in 3 and 4, trying to pry open the door. Reed's got to hold that bottom. He cannot make a mistake. All over the back bumper of that 05 of Reed. 03 Ramsey pries him open in turn number 1. Ramsey gets to the inside of Reed down the back straightaway. We're going to see what Reed has. He sends her in hard into turn number 3. He gets to the back bumper. Not enough, though. It's going to be 0-3. Justin Ramsey wins over 0-5. P. Reed, 26. Handley, 49. Bailey, and 84. Beagle rounds out your top 5. So great run there for the 0-3 of Justin Ramsey, who picks up the win in tonight's $817 to win GR Environmental Pete Costco Memorial here at Humberstone Speedway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, climbing out of the car, tonight's GR Environmental Street Stock feature win at the Pete Costco Memorial. It's Justin Ramsey. All right, Justin, get around front. Great job here tonight. Reed was leading that whole thing. You just followed him, got a little shot to him, got under him, pried him open, and took home the win here, $817. That's got to make the drive back to Belleville feel pretty good, huh?
It makes it feel awesome. I won last night at Brighton, and I come up here and win, and it was all in the last lap, just like tonight.
Tell us about that race with Reed. It was clean, in my opinion, just a great race out front. You had to do what you had to do, and you got the win. Tell us about it.
Well, actually, at the start of the race, it was a little loose, and I was going to go off because I thought I messed up on setup. But with Pete, I was kind of bumping him a little bit. He was spinning the tires, starting to come off. He was getting excited, and we were rubbing a bit.
Yeah, it was definitely a great race. I enjoyed it up in the tower. Tell us about all your sponsors that help us get you here all the way to Port Colborne, Humberstone Speedway, Pete Costco Memorial, Victory Lane.
ABC Taxi bought me actually 4 tires this week to come here. Auto Parts Center, I work there, but I shout out to them. They do a lot for me, and I'm coming in late tomorrow, guys. KD Transmission builds the trannies. Club 54, Peacemaker 420, Bellevue Fabricating, Belleville, Ontario, Hodges Auto Parts, and Martin River Foods.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time for tonight's GNR Street Stock Division feature winner, Justin Ramsey.
All right, here we go. Starting lineup. 16 entries. 30 laps. Feature attraction. In the front row, in the 87 from Picton, Ontario, will be Andrew Hennessy. Outside, row number 1 in the 57 from Belleville will be Charlie Sandercock. Inside, row number 2 from Picton in the 01 will be Eli Mayhew. Starting in the 4th position, in the 19 JR from Port Colborne to be Rob Lettingham. Starting in 5th position, inside, row number 3 in the 311 from Niagara Falls, Sam Panaccio. Starting in 6th position from Trenton, in the 12S, Kyle Sopaz. Starting in the 7th position, inside, row number 4, easy, 69, from Port Colborne to be Rob Pitts. Starting in the 8th position, number 89 from Port Hope will be Austin King. Starting in 9th, inside row number 5 will be Brant Graham. In the 10th position, starting in row number 5 will be Adam Turner from Cherry Hill, the number 92. Starting inside row number 6 in the 0 from Chatham be John Pichino. In the 12th position, in the number 15 from Ridgeway, Ontario, will be Tim Gillespie. Starting inside row number 7 in the 05 from Wallaceburg. Starting 13th will be Mike Lewis. Starting 14th from Blenheim, Ontario, in the number 49 will be Brent Hope. Inside row number 8 in the 00 from Blenheim, Ontario. Starting 15th position will be Jim Dale Jr. And rounding out the field outside row number 8 in the 82 from Ridgeway, Ontario will be Mike Green.
All right, Northeast Late Model Alliance feature here at Humberstone. They're going for $1,517 to win, 30 laps. Good field of late models here ready to put on a show for you. Luke's Racing Engines Pro Fabrication is our normal division sponsors here for our late model divisions. I want to give them a shout out as well. Costco Haulage as well for putting on the night here at the Costco Memorial. We're ready to go. Hennessy and Sandercock, couple of teammates up on that front row in the 87 and 57s. And they're going to take it nice, tight, square, and even to the cones in 4. Green flag's going to wave, and we're racing once again here at Humberstone. Late model feature underway into turn number 1 and 2. Sandercock pushes that high side in that 57. Hennessy on the bottom. Race side by side down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Who's going to lead lap 1? Sandercock's got that high side working out of 4. He's going to lead that lap by about a half car over Hennessy in the 87 and the 01 of Mayhew. Hennessy not going away in that 87 car, still pushing inside of Charlie Sandercock. And it's a great battle out front in this one. 87, 57 side by side under the line for that top spot. Sandercock on the top, Hennessy on the bottom, still racing hard as they can for that top position. A couple more Brighton runners coming up here and spending the Sunday night here at Humberstone looking for that extra money and the points for the Northeast Late Model Alliance as Sandercock leads that lap. As we're clean and green on lap 3 here in our late model feature. Hennessy seems to got the bite in 2, and Sandercock has it on the high side out of 4. So bottom side faster in 1 and 2. Looks like top side faster in 3 and 4, but great race between 57 and 87 out front. Those two, those strangers themselves, they're always battling for those top spots at any speedway they go to around the province. Hennessy on that bottom. Sandercock on that top. Sandercock gets the charge that time. He's going to lead by over 2 car lengths that time. Sandercock definitely got a good run in 3 and 4 that time by. Hennessy, though, once again, like I say, good bite out of 2. Gets back beside Sandercock, but Sandercock's going to throw it in on the cushion in 3 and 4. Cushion holding up great out of 3 and 4, like it always does here at Humberstone. As Sandercock leads that lap. We've got one around in the middle of turn number 1 and 2. We've got to go caution for, I can't quite see the number right at the moment. But we've got one around in middle of 1 and 2. Sandercock and Hennessy. Green flag out. We are racing once again at Humberstone, back underway. Pinocchio gets a good start, gets into the right rear of the 87 of Hennessy, who does a good job to gather it in. And that opens up the door on the bottom for the 01 of Mayhew to get back by the 311 of Pinocchio, last week's winner here in that 311. Pinocchio wants to pick up the win here tonight. Big one for that home crowd. Pinocchio, you're leading the home track car at the moment in that 311, but Rob Pitts and Rob Lenningham not far behind as well. They're running 5th and 6th, respectively, in the 69 and 19 junior cars, but out front, Charlie Sandercock clicks off another lap in that 57 car. One straightaway, Tim Gillespie gets into it with, I think it was the 0 of Pinsino. They get him straightened out and going to continue. And we are still green as Sandercock picks off lap number 8. 8 and 22 to go in our 30 lap late model feature here tonight at the Pete Costco Memorial. Hennessy finding that bottom side again off 2. Maybe he needs to switch to the top side in 3 and 4 is that 87 car, but he's still rolling the bottom, getting decent bite, keeping Sandercock in his sights. Still lots of laps to go. He's going to ride, see what happens. Pinocchio now feeling the lead a little bit from Mayhew in the 01, but Mayhew fades back and now maybe into the grasp of the 69 of Rob Pitts. Field stretched out a little bit now, single file through the field as we're starting to get a little bit of a green flag run. Pinsino and King are going at it for around the 10th and 11th spot right now. That was the best battle on the speedway that lap. Out front, Hennessy starting to reel in that 57 car just a little bit again. Hennessy definitely not letting that 57 car of Sandercock go away as Gillespie brushes the front stretch wall that time down the front straightaway, picks up a bit of dust. Pinocchio switches to that top side in that 311. He's got her charged up in 3 and 4, looking good, holding that final podium place in the moment in the 311. Sandercock and Hennessy going to start to see lap cars coming up now any moment. Lap cars also battling side by side in front of them, so it's going to take some slick maneuvering to get around them. 05 car Lewis, earlier caution, battling with the 82 up green, right in front of your leaders. Sandercock going to try to split the difference. Check that. He's going to try to cross him over and get under both cars, but the 05 definitely still blocking his way. He gets by the 87. Now he's going to grab the top side and blow around the 05 this time, and now Sandercock puts a lap car between him and the 87. Panaccio now catches the 82 up green, puts him a lap down. 87 up Tennessee now clears the 05 car. Panaccio does as well, and we are back top three in running order after they cleared a few lap cars there. As they'll be catching up a few more cars as Jim Dale is the next car to go back a lap in the 00. 2-liter Charlie Sandercock in that 57. Blue flags out now for the 49 of Hope and the 00 of Jim Dale. Sandercock been rubbing the high side all night. We got one around in 3 and 4 in front of your leader. It's the 15 of Tim Glipsy, and caution flags will wave. Tough break there, and we're going to have to stay yellow. So Brent Graham in the 14 stopped on turn 2 on the top. Get the tow trucks over there, see what's wrong with him. Or maybe for this alliance, I bet. Sandercock now takes the green flag. We are racing into turn number 1 and 2. To the high side, just like he's been doing every other lap. Sandercock powers down the back straightaway. Lots of bite in that 57 car. You can see the rear end askew, getting that rear steer. 87 Hennessy set up pretty much the same, but on the bottom side. One on the top, one on the bottom. That's where they've been the whole time. As we had a car in the front stretch wall. I couldn't catch which one it was, but a whole bunch of dust got thrown up down the front straightaway that time as one of the cars got on the wall. Sandercock still pushes that top side around both ends of the speedway and clicks off another lap as we are 19 in, this time by 11 to go for our Northeast Late Model Alliance feature here at Humberstone. Car around in turn 2, 89, that's the green car. Austin King, out of Port Hope in that 89. Gets turned around, looked like he had a little help. I couldn't see quite who it was from. Gets her spun around. Right rear quarter panel on the 89 car definitely shows that he definitely had a little bit of help. I think it was the 0 of John Pinsono as he's been getting put to the rear for his involvement with the spin on the 89 car of Austin King. Sandercock on the top, Hennessy on the bottom, Panaccio and Mayhew in behind them, the top 4. Green flag is out. We're racing once again. Another good start for the 57 of Sandercock. 87 Hennessy holds with him on the bottom side. Pitts and Lettingham side by side for 5th. Side by side for 3rd is 01 Mayhew and 311 Panaccio. 87 now. Hennessy might lead this lap. Nope, going to be Sandercock just by a great battle out front. Those two. No stranger to clean racing and hard racing for wins all around the province. And now Hennessy gets a good run off the bottom of 2. Still clean and green here in this feature event for the Northeast Late Model Alliance. Sandercock leads another lap by about a car and a half that time over 87 Hennessy. 3rd place Panaccio still holding there, last week's feature winner in that 311. 3 wide now for the 4th spot. Pitts, Lettingham, and Mayhew. Lettingham in the middle. Almost goes around. Oh, Robbie Lettingham around in turn number 3 and 4. They almost got her squared away. But they were 3 wide going in the corner there. And they were definitely not 3 wide coming out. Nose all tore up on the 69 of Rob Pitts. Let's see the damage on the 19 to Lettingham. Not quite as much, it seems like. Lettingham seems like he got away with it a little bit better than the 69 of Pitts, who's got the nose all tore up on that 69. Once again, Sandercock going to lead him to green. Green flag is out, and we are racing once again for just a heat race now. Left 8 laps to go. Graham slow on the front straightaway in that 14 car. Tough restart for the 14 of Brett Graham. He gets her going now. Looks like he's back under power at the rear of the field as Sandercock with that orange spoiler on that 57 leads 23-7 to go. go here for the 57 of Sandercock. Starting to pull away now a little bit from the 87 of Hennessy. Panaccio in that 311 doesn't want to get the leaders to let them go too far away as he starts to distance himself away a little bit from the 01 of Mayhew. Adam Turner now up to the 5th spot. So Turner doing a good job in that 92 car, working his way through the field, battling with another Brighton car, Kyle Sopaz in that 12. Sopaz and Turner, good battle right now for the 5th spot. That time Sopaz had at the line, but Turner was right there to his inside. Turner on the bottom, Sopaz on the top, battling for that 5th spot. Best battle on the speedway right now. Lettingham already back through the field to about the 8th spot under Gillespie right now in the 15 car. So Robbie Lettingham charging back through the field in that 19. Coming to 3 to go this time for 57, Charlie Sandercock out front in this one. Andrew Hennessy in that 87, Sam Panaccio rounding up the top 3. Best battles on the track is for about 6, 7, and 8 with the 0 of Pensano's had an interesting night in that 0 as well. The 12 of Sopaz pushing that high side, who's let Turner now by for that 5th spot in the 92. Adam Turner into that top 5 as we speak. 2 to go this time by for 57 of Sandercock into turn number 1. Sandercock reports to the cushion one more time. 4 more corners for that 57 car, and he's going to take home tonight's $1,517 feature win at the Pete Costco Memorial, presented by Costco Haulage. Luke's Racing Engine and Pro Fabrication Divisional sponsor. Checker flag in the air. It's going to be Charlie Sandercock picking up the win over Andrew Hennessy. Sam Panaccio rounds out the top 3, and then Mayhew, Turner, Sopaz, Pinsano, Lettingham, Gillespie, Dale, Hope, King, Graham, and Lewis and Green round out the field. Great run for that 57 of Charlie Sandercock as he picks up the big dough here at tonight's Pete Costco Memorial in the Northeast Late Model Alliance feature. Got the $1,517 check on the car from Terry Vince. Pete Costco Memorial Race. Here he is out of the car. Put your hands together. Long toe tonight for the 57 of Charlie Sandercock. All right, Charlie, work your way around here. Gets the Hoosier neck band. Like a real professional Victory Lane down here. Charlie, good job. All right, you and your teammates started on the front row there. Definitely had a good battle out front. But you, the veteran, squeaked out in front and just kept him there. Tell us about the race there.
I think I just got the luck of the draw to start on the outside there. I don't know what the bottom was like, but we were pretty comfortable up there. So didn't bother changing up. I had to change up a little bit for some lap traffic. But all in all, I think it was a good night.
Definitely was. He was right there with you on the bottom. I think it was a little bit better out of 4. That's the money corner, and that's where you took home the $1,517 tonight. Tell us about all the sponsors on this 57 car. Lots of feature wins for you this year, and lots of feature wins for you every year. Tell us about all the people that help you.
I got to thank my sponsor, my crew. We work our butts off. Those guys in the shop, they're nonstop. We got 2 cars all the time, plus some any stock. And just points for the crew guys and the sponsors: Thousand Islands RV, Jeff Harrison Farms, Bullet Signs Graphics, iBox Springs, Stamp Crate, KD Transmission, Newnham Enterprises, Deerhaven Farm and Gardens, Image Landscape, KD Transmission, C. Smith Machine, CCS Industrial. Lots of other guys that are always here helping. So I got to thank all my sponsors, all the supporters, and all the fans for coming out and supporting. If it wasn't for fans, then this wouldn't be possible. And it kind of sucked last year. We couldn't have the fans, but glad to be kind of back to normal here.
Couldn't say it any better myself. Charlie's thanks to fans. And how about fans? How would you thank him for putting her in victory lane tonight in our Luke's Racing Engines Pro Fabrication Late Model Division? Northeast Racing Alliance joining as well. So 57, Charlie Sandercock, great job for him in the Pete Costco Memorial Victory Lane. I'm going to throw it up to Steve in the booth for the lineup for our Sterling Lubricants 30-lapper tonight.
Thank you, Travis Cunningham and Victory Lane. All right, this is how they're going to line up in our 30-lap feature event. Starting in the front row in the pole position from Port Colborne, In the 15L will be Adam Leslie. Outside row number 1 in the 8S from St. Catharines be Justin Sharp. Inside row number 2 in the number 7 from St. Catharines, Cody McPherson. Outside row number 2 starting in 4th. From Port Robinson in the 74R will be Dave Flanagan Jr. Starting in 5th position, inside row number 3 in the 1F will be Ryan Ferry. Starting in 6th position, outside row number 3, Tyler Pachowski in the 21P from Port Colborne. Starting in 7th, inside row number 4 in the 20 will be Jay Mallory. To his right, starting in the 8th position, Greg Punanti from Port Colborne in the 99P. Starting in row number 5. In the 35 from St. Catharines be Brandon Gruhl. Starting in 10th position. In the 72 from St. Catharines will be James Friesen. Starting in the 6th row on the inside, Jeff Punanti from Ridgeway in the 66P. Starting in 12th position, inside row number 6 will be Brad Rose from Fort Erie, Ontario in the 18P. Starting in the 13th position, inside row number 7 in the 12P from Port Colborne to be Emily Pachowski. Starting 14th position from Stony Creek in the 53, Jason Fairway. Row number 8 on the inside in the 22 from Niagara Falls would be Terry Smith. And on the outside in the 16th position, row number 8 from Port Colborne in the 96B will be Luke Carlton. Row number 9 in the number 3 from Ridgeway, Ontario will be Noah Mamo. Starting 18th in row number 9 on the outside, number 68 will be Curtis Friesen. Starting 19th position, row number 10 in the 108 from Port Robinson will be Billy Bleach. Starting in 20th position in the 13M will be Daniel McKay. Row number 11 on the inside, row number 5 from Port Colborne, Ontario will be Matt Sharp. On his outside, starting 22nd in the 62 from Port Colborne to be John Babian. And in the last row, number 12, starting in the 12th row, number 17C from St. Catharines, Jordan Costco. And on his outside in the 24C from Hamilton, Ontario, will be Cameron Lane.
3 and 4, they're at the cones. Green flag's gonna fly, RPMs are up, and we're racing into turn number 1 and 2. Leslie in that 15 car on the bottom, Sharpie in that 8S goes to the top side. Leslie gets the power down on the bottom side of turn number 1 and 2, and he's gonna lead him into turn number 3 and 4 for lap 1. 7 car McPherson to the bottom as well. He's cleared into third. McPherson, oh, looks like Gruhl caught the inside wall, shot up through the field. Gruhl's got a broken front end down the front straightaway. So drivers, I hope they're going to have to, Gruhl doesn't even realize the front end's broken. Now he does. And Gruhl in that 35 off the top of turn number 1 and 2. And we have to go yellow for the 35 of Brandon Gruhl. Stopped on the top of turn 2 after he had a little date with the turn 3 and 4 fence and knocked the front end out of that thing. A little bit of gamesmanship on the start. Green flag. Waving, and we are even at the start-finish line. Dead heat at the line. That was about as even start as you can get out of the 15 of Leslie and the 8S of Sharp. Sharp now to the top side. Leslie a little bit better bite off the bottom of 1 and 2. See what Leslie does in 3 and 4. He's going to go to the bottom. We got one around in the turn number 1 and 2 in the middle. It's the 20 J of Bill Gill, and we go caution. Bill Gill sitting duck there in turn number 1 and 2. Definitely didn't like to see his field coming at him. I can guarantee you that. Leslie's going to want to get out in front and hide in this one, as he's got 27 laps more to click off inside the cockpit of that 15 as he's getting ready to lead him back down to green. Green flag in the air. And we are racing once again here at Humberstone Speedway. Pete Costco Memorial 30-lap Sportsman Division features. Sharp gets a pretty good restart that time in the 8S. Stays a little more even with the 15 of Leslie down the back straightaway. Good battle now for the lead. Sharpie going to have that powerful top side in turn 3 and 4. Let's see what happens at the line. Still Leslie going to lead it by a full car over the 8S of Sharp. Perry and McPherson still going for war at that third spot. Flanagan rounds out the top 5. Rouse now moved up to 6. In that 18R car, won last night, trying to win again, double up on the weekend for that 18R. As Leslie doing a good job hitting that bottom as JMF goes around in front of the field. And we are going to stack them up big time in turn number 4. James Michael Friesen just loses it there in the slick stuff in turn number 4. And they stack them up big time behind him. So JMF, tough break last night with a pretty big wreck. And he's in the middle of a parking lot again in turn 3 and 4 here tonight. Green flag is out and we're racing once again. Adam Leslie in that 15 car leads the way into turn number 1 and 2. 8S Justin Sharp pushes the top side. McPherson in the 7. Trying to get to the inside of Sharp for that second spot. 18R Rouse and 1F Ferry side by side for about the 4th spot as they click off another lap. 6 in the books now for the 15 of Leslie. 8S Justin Sharp in second. He's got company with the 7 of McPherson now on the bottom side. 8R Rouse into 4th. Leslie rolling that bottom side. Good attitude out of that 15 car. On that bottom, clicks off another lap. 7 now in the books. 23 to go here for our Sterling Lubricant Sportsman division. McPherson now to the inside of Justin Sharp, who's pushing that high side in the 8S. McPherson in the lucky 7 now gets by Sharp for that second spot, and he's got a car length and a half on him at the start-finish line. So McPherson now into that second spot, and he's going to set his sights on the 15 of Adam Leslie. Lap car, Brandon Gruel in that 35G up in front of the 15. He's in the same lane and kind of squirrely. Still problems in that 35G car. Brandon's going to take it to the pits off the top of turn 1. Leslie pulls away just a little bit. He's got about a 10 car advantage that time down the back straightaway over the 7 of McPherson. Sharp still pushing that high side. Lots of cars switching down to the bottom side. These sportsman cars seem to be liking the bottom a little bit more than the late models did. Seem to be a little bit more bite out of 3 and 4 because Leslie is rolling that bottom side on the guardrail, both ends of the speedway right now. Leslie on the bottom, McPherson starting to reel him in just a little bit. This time by 11 laps into our 30-lap feature, 19 to go. McPherson gets a little too loose. That allows the 15 to power away down the back straightaway. Rouse now into 3rd in that 18R. He switches up. Going to run the top side through 3 and 4 that time. Rouse in the 18R finding the brown stuff up high and powering away in 3rd. Cody McPherson now starting to reel in that 15 car of Adam Leslie. McPherson now definitely gaining ground on the 15 of Leslie. Could have a battle for that lead in just a few laps. Leslie, both cars on the bottom with McPherson in tow. He's definitely on the back bumper now of that 15 car. Just in front of him, they click off another one halfway down next time by. We're 14 and 16 to go in our 30-lap Sportsman Division feature here tonight at Humberstone Speedway. Leslie on the bottom, McPherson trying to cross him over, halfway down this time by. 15 laps to go. McPherson almost got a nose that time, thought better of it. Now Leslie missed his marks a little bit, gets back to the bottom, powers away down the back straightaway. Leslie in that 15 car, getting chased by that 7 of McPherson, who now changes it up, going to try to maybe to cross it over again. Cushion maybe starting to slow down a little in 3 and 4. As McPherson, anytime he goes in high, tries to chop it around as McPherson now rolls the middle of the black stuff. Doesn't quite work out. Leslie powers away again off the bottom. Great battle out front. Don't look now. Brad Rouse starting to close up in that 3rd spot in the 18R. He's definitely getting closer as McPherson that time gets to the inside of Leslie and takes the lead away in turn number 1 and 2. So we got a new leader in that 7 car as the field's catching lap traffic now. McPherson took the lead away from Leslie that time by new leader. With 12 to go now, Cody McPherson, your leader over Leslie, Rouse, Ferry, and Sharp round out the top 5. Ferry and Sharp in a great battle for that 4th spot, 4th and 5th. Now 7 of McPherson catching those lap cars at the back. McPherson on the bottom. Lane gets out of the way on the top side in the 24C. Nice job by him to get out of the leader's way. Two more coming. Ryan Ferry has trouble down the front straightaway. It looks like a part breaks in the steering or something. Weird moment there for the 1F of Ferry, who is now into the middle of the infield. Looks like he's far enough away to not cause a caution. Ferry definitely breaking a tie rod or something there, or maybe an axle as the car just went left side hard into the infield. Now Flanagan slides up across, loses a spot to the 20 of Mallory, who's doing double duty tonight as well as McPherson in the 7 car, your leader. Now starting to pull away a little bit as Rouse in that 18R has taken away the second spot from the 15 of Leslie. So Leslie now your first half leader in this one has fallen back to third in that 15. McPherson clicking laps off. 8 to go this time by for the 7 of Cody McPherson. More lap cars ahead of McPherson. Fairway in the 53 moves out of the way. Next up will be Gill and Mamo, respectively, in the 20 and 3 cars. Both cars kind of running the same lane as McPherson. Let's see if they get out of his way. Gill now starts to run the middle, going to open up the door for the 7 of McPherson. He sees the blue flag from the starter, going to get out of the way of the Lucky Sevens. Progress now as he moves to the inside of Gill to put another car lap down, so he's got one car in between him and the second place spot of Brad Rouse. That was lap 25. 5 to go for the Lucky 7 of Cody McPherson. Rouse in second. Might be creeping in just a little bit, but not much, if anything, as McPherson now got 2 lap cars going side by side ahead of him. Let's see if they get in line and give room to that 7 of McPherson. 4 to go that time by for the Lucky 7, trying to pick up another win here at Humberstone. Believe he won the All-Canadian earlier in the season as well. So he's trying to go back-to-back with the All-Canadian and the Pete Costco Memorial, 2 of the biggest races here at Humberstone. He's trying to win them both in that Sportsman division in that 7 car. 3 to go that time by for McPherson. Another lap car out of the way for McPherson as he sees 2 to go this time by. 8 more corners for Cody McPherson. That's all that stands between him and that $1,517 payday that awaits him in Pete Costco Victory Lane. Here we go. White flag in the air now for the 7 of McPherson. One more lap for that 7 car until he brings home Pete Costco Memorial Gold in the Sportsman. Victory Lane will have to be quick because he's got a modified to run and get 2 in as well. Same as Jay Mallory in that 20 car. Got to go get in the 0. Out of 3 and 4. Final time. Checker flag in the air. It's going to be Cody McPherson picking up the win over 18R. Brad Rouse. Then third spot going to be Leslie over Sharp, Mallory, Flanagan, Panante, Babian, Bleach, Costco, and Pajolski rounds out the top 10 unofficially. Here he comes out of the car. Put your hands together. Tonight's $1,517 winner in the Sportsman division, Cody McPherson. Cody gets a checker flag from Linda Costco down here in Pete Costco Victory Lane. Going to get a word with him. Fancy, who's your neck guard? Cody, good job, buddy. Awesome race there. You doubled up. A couple other drivers have tonight. You won both the All-Canadian and the Pete Costco race, both the biggest races here tonight. Tell us about your race there.
There's nothing better than winning a race that's in memory of Pete. Everyone misses that big smile in the pits, and no matter how bad his day was, you would never know because he always smiled, and he always made sure everyone else was smiling, and I love winning on this night.
Yeah, I knew it definitely would be special with you. We've been talking about him a lot. Definitely everyone misses him down here. You got to get your modified so quickly. Tell us about all your sponsors and crew that help you on this car before you get in the GNR Environmental 72 car.
Yeah, I really got to thank my Aunt Tam, Willard Concrete and Trucking, my Grandma McPherson, Rick's Delivery, S&W Service Center, Titan Crane, Window Works, DVC, Beaverlock Farms, Summertime Spray Foam, and I got to thank Brandon and my little guy here. He's always helped me wash a race car and mess around the shop, and my wife and daughter for letting me come out and do this, and everyone else that helps.
Ladies and gentlemen, hands together one more time. Tonight's Sterling Lubricant Sportsman Division winner, that's Cody McPherson. All right, here is the starting lineup for tonight's 40-lap Pete Costco Memorial here at Humberstone. I'm going to do it in reverse order. Starting 21st out of Welland in the 2 Cool, that's Derek Van Mill. Starting 20th, 72 car out of Wainfleet, this is Tanner Podwinski. Starting 19th out of Ridgeway, car number 43, this is Brian Page. Outside, row number 9, 18th starting spot. Out of St. Catharines, 73, he's racing tonight in memory of his grandfather, Pete Costco. That is Dylan Davidson. Inside, row number 9, 17th starting spot. In this 71X tonight, Mike Bowman's backup car, this is Brent Bigelow. Outside, row number 8, 16th starting spot out of St. Catharines in the 2X car, this is Tom Neal. Inside, row number 8, 15th starting spot. This driver's out of Wainfleet, Ontario. He drives the number 88. This is Shane Pierce. Outside, row number 7, 14th starting spot. Out of Beamsville, Ontario, last night's 3rd place finisher. In the 09, it's Trevor Wright. Inside, row 7, 13th starting spot. In the Glenn Stiers number 0 car, driving it tonight, doing double duty, that is Jay Mallory. Now we get into our redraw cars. Outside, row 6, starting 12th. Tonight, in the number 41 car, that is Boyd McTavish. Inside, row 6, 11th starting spot. In the number 08 car tonight, this is Mark Delario. Outside, row number 5, car number 37S, out of St. Catharines, Ontario, this is Gary Lindberg. Inside, row number 5. Lots of feature wins for this driver this year. It's the number 6 car, S&W Service Center, out of St. Catharines, is Matt Williamson. Outside, row number 4, 8th starting spot. Out of Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, in the Niagara Employment Center, number 96, this is Fast Freddie Carlton. Inside, row 4, 7th spot. Out of Fort Erie, Ontario, in the 1JP tonight, this is Jordan Peters. Outside, row number 3. He just won the Sportsman feature minutes ago. Now he's in the 73K Podwinski ride out of St. Catharines. This is Cody McPherson. Inside, row 3, 5th spot. Out of Port Colborne, it's the number 12 car first heat winner tonight. This is Heavy Chevy Chad Chevalier. Outside, row number 2, 28 car, 4th starting spot. This is Todd Gordon. Inside, row number 2, out of St. Catharines, Ontario, in that 777 car, this is Tyler Willard. Now your front row for tonight's Pete Costco Memorial 40-lap $3,017 to win feature. Out of Thorold in the 1XP car, starting second, it's Austin Wood. And tonight's pole sitter, out of St. Catharines, Ontario, driving the number 71, this is Mike Bowman. So there's your lineup for tonight's Pete Costco Memorial 40-lap feature event here at Humberstone. Going to have this 73C of Dylan Davidson. We're going to do another missing man formation here in honor of the late, great Pete Costco. Pete, we've said it all night. We miss you here, buddy. We wish you were here with us, but this is the best we can do to honor you here at Humberstone. We're going to go 40 laps for over $3,000 here, 21 modifieds. Going to put one on for you. White flag out on the speedway now. 73 Davidson going to find his spot in the field. Pace car is going to take the hard left into the infield in turn number 3, and we are going to be rocking in green flag racing here out of 4. Bowman and Wood on that front row. Green flag is out, and we are racing here at Humberstone for the 40-lap Pete Costco Memorial. Bowman and Wood side by side into turn number 1 and 2. Nice and even out of 2. Willard gets a good run. He's solidly into third spot under Gordon in the 28. As we've got cars a little bit slow on the back straightaway, looked like McPherson and Carlton got into it. McPherson, tough break for him, just won the Sportsman feature, but just lost a bunch of spots in this modified feature as Bowman in the 71 leads lap 1 over 1 XP of Wood, and the top 3 rounding out is Willard now in that 777. Chevalier in the 12 car moving to the inside of the 28 of Gordon. Heavy Chevy now in the 12 into 4th. Bowman starting to pull away a little bit out front. Willard in that 777 car. Been really fast here in the Niagara region all season. Now running 3rd. Reeling in that 1 XP car of Austin Wood. And behind them, Chevalier 4th. 5th is Gordon. 6th is Peters, who now looks to the inside of Gordon for 5th. 7th, Matt Williamson, moving up from that 9th spot. 8th, Lindbergh. 9th, now Carlton, who goes around our way to Delario and rounding out the top 10 at the moment. 0 of Jay Mallory in that Glenn Stiers car. Out front, still all Mike Bowman in that Speedway Fluid Power number 71. Bowman clicks off lap 5. We are 5 in, 35 to go for the $3,017 here tonight at Humberstone. Willard and Wood side by side out of turn number 2 now for that 2nd spot. Give it to Tyler Willard into turn number 3. Willard now into that 2nd spot on the start straightaway officially as he's 2nd spot that lap. Bowman now missed the top side. Bowman ducked the right rear off the top and was able to gather it back in quickly. Bowman still your leader down the back straightaway. Bowman tucks her down to the rail in 3 and 4. See what he does this time in 1 and 2. Chevalier up to the top side in 3 and 4. Tries luck up there, try to reel in the top 3. Bowman back to the bottom that time, 71 after his trying at the top the lap before. Gordon slides up that time in the middle of 1 and 2. Open up the door for the 6th car of Matt Williamson to move to the inside of Gordon. Got a tiptoe to the inside of Gordon, who left him just enough room there, but Williamson still can't squeak by as Carlton's going to drive around them both around the outside. Good run for Fast Fred around the outside in the 96. Brady gets around now into 5th in that 96 car. 6 of Williamson now into 6th. Around 28 of Todd Gordon. Bowman now is starting to get reeled in now by that 777 of Tyler Willard. Willard ultra fast in that 777 car, reeling in that 71 of Mike Bowman. Bowman's going to have company maybe here in a couple laps. That's the problem when you're leading. You don't know where everyone else is. And Bowman had a signal guy in the pits. He'd be telling him that 777 car is definitely gaining on him right now. 777 is there now. Willard all over Bowman for that top spot. Bowman still clicking off the laps. We're 11 in. 29 to go. Willard now makes his move to the inside of Bowman. Bowman got stuck in the black stuff in the middle of turn number 1 and 2. And that opens up the door for the 777 to Willard. Willard now to the bottom of 3 and 4. New leader at the line on lap number 13. Sorry, lap 12, new leader. That's Tyler Willard in that 777. Takes the lead away from the 71 of Bowman. Now Heavy Chevy in that 12 car has worked his way into 3rd. Leader's now going to encounter some heavy lap traffic with the Too Cool of Van Mill. Willard going to sneak to the inside there. Great job by the Too Cool of Van Mill to sense that the leaders were there and get into the middle groove and allow them to split them down the back straightaway. Great driving also by our leaders to split lap traffic as Willard gives a little shot to Podwinski, says, hey buddy, I'm the leader. I need this spot a little bit more than you at the moment. And he gets back under now the 43 of Page as Bowman still right there through lap traffic. Great job by the 777 of Willard, maneuvering ways through lap traffic. Bowman definitely not letting him get away, though, as he's still about 4 car lengths behind. Willard, 777, starting to pull away just a little bit from that 71 of Bowman now, as he's under the 2X of Tom Neal. trying to put him a lap down. Willard doing a great job out front. 18 down now. Sorry, 16 for that 777 car. Halfway to go now in 4 laps. Willard clicking off laps in that 777. Willard Concrete Service number 777. Definitely pulling away now from the 71 of Bowman, who's starting to get a little bit loose in turn number 1 and 2. Definitely hanging the right rear, getting into 1. Six of Williams, heavy lap traffic. He's moved up to the 4th spot now for the 6 of Williams. And Heavy Chevy's faded back to 5th. Carlton now in 3rd. Carlton reeling in Bowman as well. So Fast Freddy in that Niagara Employment Services number 96, reeling in the 71 of Bowman for that 2nd spot. Willard, more lap traffic. Next to go a lap down, 0 Knight. Trevor Wright. Wright goes a lap down. Up next will be the 88 of Pierce for the 777 of Willard. Looks like we got a car taking it to the pits. That's the 43 of Brian Page. So Page shuts her down at lap 20. That's the end of his feature. Back up front. Willard clicking off more laps, putting more distance between him and that 7. Almost a full straightaway now for the 777 of Willard. Got that baby dialed in here tonight for sure for Tyler in that 777. Bowman gonna feel the pressure from the 96 of Carlton here in a couple laps. Carlton definitely faster than Bowman at the moment. Carlton looked to take away the 2nd spot in that 96. Fast Freddy finished 2nd back last time the Mods were here at the All-Canadian Championship. And he's looking for 2nd spot again here tonight at the Pete Costco Memorial in that Niagara Employment Service 96. Willard again. Next lap car to go a lap down is the 88 of Shane Pierce. Those cars share sponsor look mighty similar. Up next will be the 73 of Dylan Davidson, who's doing a good job roughly inside the top 10 in that 73 car. Carlton and Bowman have a little moment there with the 41 of Boyd McTavish as he goes a lap down. But now Carlton is definitely to the outside of the 71 of Mike Bowman for that 2nd spot as they reel in Trevor Wright in front of them. Carlton, great job to impede the progress of the 71 of Bowman. Carlton now solidly into that 2nd spot. Let's see if Fast Fred can kick it into high gear and reel in that 777 of Willard, who's been out front since the early going in this one. Willard still doing a great job in that 777. Willard now catching lots of lap traffic out the back of the field with Dylan Davidson, Jordan Costco, Brent Bigelow, Tanner Podwinski, Cody McPherson all up next to a lap down for the 777 of Willard. 27 laps in, 13 laps left to go in our 40 lapper here tonight. 12 to go now for Willard in that 777. Tyler, a self-funded team, definitely could use that big payday. Would be the biggest win of his career. I can pretty safely say that. Willard now gracefully through lap traffic. Gets by the 72 of Podwinski. Up next will be Bigelow in the 71 car. Carlton is slowly reeling in Willard, but without a conflict. Fast Fred's will be able to get there with only 10 laps to go now. Carlton now catches the back of 4 lap cars that Willard had already exposed of a few laps before that. So there's 4 lap cars in between 1st and 2nd at the moment. And they are coming up on a gaggle, another one. McPherson definitely rolling in this one, definitely inside the top 10 for putting cars a lap down. Brent Bigelow in the 71 backup car up next. 8 laps to go, just a heat race left in this one for the 777 of Tyler Willard. Gaggle of lap cars running the bottom in front of them. Hopefully they see that blue flag. As Willard now is going to have to make some maneuvers. Might have to use the chrome horn to get through this bunch of lap cars who are racing for position, possibly down the back straightaway. Willard now switches it up to the high side. Brave move there. He's going to have to try to get around the Too Cool of Van Mill. He does. 6 laps to go now for the 777 Tyler Willard. Freddie Carlton has made it about the distance of the back straightaway distance. He is slowly reeling him in. Fast Fred might be a titch faster than the 777, but he still has a lot of distance to cover up in the 5 laps left to go. That are now as five. The high 5 is being shown to the starter on the field. 3 and 4. Tyler Willard gets to the inside of Cody McPherson in that 72 car. 4 to go now for Willard. Matt Williamson gets in front of Mike Bowman now in the 6 car. Williamson to 3rd in this S&W 6 over Bowman. As Willard comes to the line, we are 3 to go that time. Bowman out to the inside, gets the 3rd spot back from Williamson. Good battle for the 3rd spot between the 71 and 6. Matt's going to roll the black, going to try to get up to the top side. That opens up the door for Bowman now as he's good battle for that 3rd spot, but they got Shane Pierce in front of him. That might help Williamson as there's 2 to go for Willard. Bowman and Williamson come together on the front straightaway. Got a bunch of groans, and they are hard in off turn number 1. Bowman gets the door from Williamson as we are white flag now for the 777 of Tyler Willard. Huge lead for Willard. If he knew that, he would probably back her down a little bit, but he's going to throw her in, try to get these 2 couple lap cars into 3 and 4. Final time. Checker flag waving in the air. It's going to be Tyler Willard picking up the Pete Costco Memorial. Over 2nd place, Fast Freddie Carlton. 3rd going to be Lindbergh at the line over Williamson in 4th. Heavy Chevy rounds out the top 5. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, climbing out of the car. Big round of applause for tonight. Peace Costco Memorial feature winner. It's 777 Tyler Willard. Linda Costco gives him the flag. Beautiful ceremony down here. Tyler extra excited. Yeah! Tyler embracing family members down here in Pete Costco Victory Lane. Gonna come around front, get a word for this. Well, Tyler, congrats, bro. Smooth as glass as always. Tell us about it. Would you call this the biggest win of your career? Have you ever won more money than this? Would you call this the biggest one?
No, this is probably the biggest, to be honest with you, especially being at Humberstone here. We've got a few championships here back in the day, and, you know, Pete Costco meant so much to everybody in the sport, and it's just great to do this on a night like tonight. You have no idea how much it feels good to get that monkey off the back, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you've been rolling good lately. Been really close at both speedways here. Tell us about the race there. You started off just stalking them, and then you made the move for the lead. And in true Tyler Willard fashion, just nice and smooth on the bottom, hit your marks every lap. You pulled away, you had over a straightaway on him. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I watched the video a few times the last time we were here, and it just seemed like the bottom was the place to be. So we basically set up for that and had that game plan in our head all night, and sure did seem to pay off, didn't it?
It sure did. Lots of sponsors on this beautiful number 777 down here in Victory Lane. Why don't you tell us about him right before we close out the night here, and you can get pictures with all your friends and family down here.
Yeah, I got to thank Mikey Grant first and foremost. This guy stuck with me through thick and thin. This one's for you, Mike, you know what I mean? And Joe, you know, my parents and the kids, they come out every night and support us, and I love them for it, and it takes a lot of our time right away from the family, but they love it. We love it. It's family sport, and I'm glad they're here. I got to thank Terry Vince from ERD, and I got to thank little Al, actually, too. He helped tune up the carburetor there yesterday, so And then all our sponsors, right? Willard Concrete and Trucking, Niagara Formworks, Goliath, C. McPherson Trucking, Guy McPherson Haulage, Mini Digger Service. Those guys come out when they can, and everybody that helps us. It's a team effort.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time. Biggest win of his career down here for Tyler Willard in 358 Modified Pete Costco Victory Lane. I'm your announcer, Travis Cunningham. Just want to say thank you once again for coming out to the Pete Costco Memorial here at Humberstone, put on by Costco Haulage. It was a great night for all of us. Lots of money gave away. Thanks to Terry Vince for putting it on. It was great to see all you fans in the stand supporting it. Drive home safe, and we will see you back next time.
Thank you very much, Travis Cunningham and Victory Lane. Thank you and good night.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GForceTV. GForceTV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.